Let's go. We live. Welcome to another episode of Speculation Sunday on a Tuesday. We had the grand opening of Toontown went down on Sunday. Surprisingly, that got delayed. That was the whole reason why we're doing it today. Hope everybody's staying safe out there with all the wind and rain and just those conditions to drive in and travel. Please stay safe, everybody. We're here with Just Ask Danny. How you doing, Danny?
I'm good. I'm good. It was a long weekend, man, with those crowds.
Yeah. I want to say I feel like maybe those crowds have been there this whole time. They were just finally like congested, or did Disneyland bump up capacity? I don't know. We'll get into that conversation later. But overall, how was your weekend, Danny? How was your weekend?
It was good. I was in Toontown all weekend. So Saturday with you, and then Sunday with Ordinary Adventure. So it was a lot.
You're Toontowned out.
Yeah.
But what's up, everybody? Thank you guys so much. We got Barbara Romero in the house. Deanna Savala, how you doing? What's up, Hornback family? How dope was Toontown, though? It was incredible. It's a mystery, says Five Fires. What's up? What's up, everyone? Crystal Ocampo, hi, Five Fire community. Oh, man, we got a lot to talk about today.
A lot.
Happy Tuesday from Hula Mama, Five Fires. After this live, I'm going to do a live stream for like 30 minutes where it's just the members of Five Fires YouTube. So stay tuned for that. All the members of Five Fire YouTube, we're going to be going live after this live. It'll be a separate live only for members only. And that's something that I want to start doing on my end to just keep communicating and staying in touch with the community, especially all the people that support me as a member. I just want to say thank you so much. Your guys' support always means the world. And another thing, we have like a special guest that'll be making an appearance probably like in 30 minutes or so. Depends when that special guest is ready. We got a lot to talk about. I want to start off with my community post that I asked my members. I always like asking my Five Fire members what topics or questions they would like to talk about. I want to get into that first. Ian Grimm, considering Chippendale's house being gone, do you think Toontown and Galaxy's Edge will connect one day? Bigger speculation is that the area between the two lands a potential landing spot for the Avatar experience. So a very loaded question here. Smash that like button, everybody, before you get things going. But Danny, what do you think about that? That's a crazy question. Chippendale tree gone, dude.
Chippendale Tree gone. Yeah. But what was the land? It kind of cut out a little bit for me when you said the landing part.
Oh, bigger speculation is that the area between the two lands a potential landing spot for Avatar experience.
Between like Toontown?
Toontown and Galaxy's Edge.
That'd be weird. But
But let's start off with the Chip and Dale talk first, because I feel like that's very important. Because Chip and Dale, non-existent, didn't even exist.
yeah,
at
I don't
Toontown
know.
opening weekend.
That was an interesting one. So yeah, we knew the Chippendale critter, the Chippendale treehouse. I don't know if it's a critter house. Their treehouse was going to go away. We saw that in the artwork that it was no longer there. We knew it was getting torn out. It wasn't mentioned in any of the like stuff that was coming back, kind of thing. So we knew it was on the chopping block. And you couldn't really tell in the artwork kind of what was going to go back there. It was just kind of like I probably purposefully left a little bit blurry, right? Where there was speculation that that area was going to be a new transition created from Toontown into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge because they are so close. and then they were gonna make it some sort of like smuggler's alley or something like that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe there's plans to do that in the future. Who knows? But for right now, they were really excited when I spoke to an executive producer from Walt Disney Imagineering, Jeffrey Shaver Moskowitz. He was the lead on the Toontown project, and he was very excited to share that they had created this quiet space in the park. And when you're in that space, the acoustics, as long as there's no people like crowding that space, the acoustics really do a good job of kind of muffling the sound around you, including the Chippendale's Gadget Coaster that's right next to it. And there's no music playing in this part of Toontown, whereas there's really loud music playing everywhere else, lots of sound effects and stuff like that. So they mentioned specifically that there was no place in Disneyland made for kids that have sensory issues or maybe that come overstimulated that need to go somewhere quiet to relax. You see kids, maybe with autism or on the spectrum that have those headphones on that look like big music headphones, but really in actuality, it's blocking out outside noise so that they can, not be overstimulated by all the sounds you're hearing inside Disneyland on a normal day and still enjoy themselves. And so if they did become overstimulated, this area was specifically designed for them to go and decompress, to relax, unwind for a second, and enjoy the quiet, I guess you could say. And I was shocked too. And I don't know if Mondo can attest to this, but Chippendale's Gadget Coaster, they must have definitely like redone like all of the mechanics on it because when it's going, like you can barely hear it until you hear people screaming. Like you used to be able to hear that thing like clanking all over the place, and now it's like really really quiet when it's going. Like half the time I was like, "Oh man, is it down right now?" And then you'd look over and you'd see it's going, and you're just like, "Oh, I can't even hear it going."
I feel
So,
like Gadget's Go Coaster was loud. Like my
really?
memory, I remember it being loud.
Oh yeah,
When you're,
the go coaster, yeah, was super loud.
and that's what we're talking about, right? Well, it's the same ride. I remember it being loud, but now that it's Chippendale's coaster, uh, you can't even hear it. Literally, there was a couple times I do remember, Daddy, where I was like, "Oh, I think it's down." Nope, it's running.
Yeah.
Even at night too. I was like, you can't hear it. But this is the quiet zone that's in Toontown. It's right next to Chippendale's coaster. Uh, and surprisingly, even at the peak of Toontown madness, this still was like a calm, relaxed area to be in.
It
Mainly
was.
because Disneyland doesn't just blast the music. For me, Toontown, they put the music at a 20 out of 10. Like they went beyond the 10 meter. It was crazy. What were you going to say, Danny?
No, I said yeah, it was. It was like even in the busiest of the time during the day, you saw, you go in there and just for some reason it was just a little bit more quiet. It wasn't like silent when you're in there, but like it was just a little muffled. Like there's less sound, and you're aware of it. Like you become aware of it as soon as you step in there.
Yeah. It is to me, when you go in there, it's a big difference from being outside of Mickey's house. I feel like the loudest area is probably like right in front of Mickey and Minnie's, like in the water fountain. It's just because a lot of people congregate there. Same thing with like Goofy's backyard. It gets pretty loud there too. But when you're in that quiet area or just the quieter area, it is nice. We got a super chat from David. I don't see a comment, David, but I will definitely keep an eye out for that. But I appreciate you for supporting the fire, my friend. 5 bars. Uh, Danny Mondo, thank you for the excellent Toontown reopening coverage. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We couldn't wait to share everything that's new and changed. It's going to be crazy. Hula Mama says, I needed to go to Popcorn Park Sunday. It was crazy busy, and sitting over there for a bit of quiet was nice. Is that what we're calling it? Popcorn Park Sunday? PPS? I'm cool with that, I guess. The popcorn stand is right there. Popcorn and chill. Um, do you think, though, real quick, just to get to Ian's question, about Avatar experience. To me, the answer is no way. There's just no way. Uh, I
I
don't think Disneyland would even want to attempt anything in between these areas.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's yeah, there's no real way to kind of create a really nice transition into something like that. I don't think they'd want. I'm not really sure that Disney wants to have anything kind of infringe on Star Wars, right? Like when you're in Star Wars, they don't want you to be like broken away from that. That's why I thought that that transition into Toontown was going to be such a weird one if they did it. But
Yeah, I think it's just not gonna happen. Not gonna
yeah,
happen. Um, by the way, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Smash it. Let me see. Let me go real quick once again. We got Jamie Lynch who says, when everything goes Disneyland's way as far as parades, nighttime entertainment, etc., what are your thoughts of what could come in the future? Let me transition that question into as well Star Wars month. Star Wars month. Disneyland hasn't even said nothing, but Scott Gustin, who's like one of the best sources of Disney news, he announced it. He might as well be Disneyland. Um, my first thoughts, Danny, if they're gonna call it Star Wars month, why wouldn't you bring the fireworks that you do in the After Dark event all month? It would be a little weird to be in this like Star Wars month feel and then have Wondrous Journey. I don't know. To me, it just doesn't go right. How do you feel about
yeah.
that?
Um, yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Like, I don't know. I think personally, for me, I don't really have a lot of. I don't want to be negative on it, but I don't really have a lot of faith in Disney doing anything good Star Wars wise at Disneyland for Star Wars related time periods. They had Star Wars weekends, which a lot of that stuff is still left over in Tomorrowland to this day, right? Those giant Tomorrowland signs that are stuck to the People Mover track, those didn't say Tomorrowland. Those used to say Star Wars like weekends or Star Wars whatever they had, and they just left them there and then redid them to have Tomorrowland on them. And then all the banners that are like lined down the People Mover track, those used to be Star Wars banners during that Star Wars period, and then they just left them there and then changed it to Tomorrowland. So a lot of that stuff's left over. We also got during that period got special limited edition Star Tours, like ride throughs. I think that's when they introduced back in the day, like the crate from the Last Jedi, like the red planet with like the red salt. So they had like fun things, but they just never really do a good job of kind of like getting everyone in on it. They kind of just like pile it all in Tomorrowland. And I feel like if you're gonna do a Star Wars month, it's got to be like everything, right? Like let's have it in Tomorrowland. Let's have some sort of something going on in Galaxy's Edge too, in celebration of that. Let's have um, you know the light speed projections on Main Street like at nighttime, like a lot of the things we saw, like you mentioned, in the Star Wars night themselves. Obviously, I feel like they have to keep the fireworks mondo, if I'm just being honest, because they got to give people something to pay, that paid for those tickets. So I don't feel like they can get up.
Nah, man. Give us the fireworks for Star Wars. Like that's not Star Wars month, man. Or if you cannot Disneyland, if you cannot do the fireworks, give us a lightsaber battle. If and I was saying that on an earlier bonfire, if we do not get a lightsaber battle in Galaxy's Edge in Star Wars month, we're not ever gonna get one. I lose all hope, and I'm just at the point I don't even care anymore. I just don't. But Nick, thank you so much for becoming a Five Fire member, my friend. Oh, also too, God, live stream after live stream. Anybody that wants to watch Mandalorian episode 4, I'm gonna do a watch party for the Five Fire members as well. I y'all know how I felt about the episode 3, but we'll see where episode 4 takes us. Also, too, Nick sent a super chat before the live went live. There's a Disneyland in Minecraft on PC/Mac. Servers called Imagine Fun and McParks. Thank you so much. That's cool. Man, I haven't heard the word Minecraft in a long time. I don't play that game, but I know it's extremely popular. Extremely popular. But thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate your support, and thank you for becoming a member, my friend. Let me see. They got to do something different for the nighttime events if they do too much Star Wars month. You would think that, but if you remember Marius of Nights, it was literally the same thing.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, they might just copy the Marius Nights formula of pretty much you're just getting a lesser crowded Star Wars event. Right, Danny? Ever since they've done Marius of Nights, I have no doubt that Disney, whatever they're giving you in the day, they'll just give it to you with a less crowd for charge you more. For less time, too. Let me see. Lightsaber battle and projections of Small World if we can't get the fireworks. We need something. We just need lightsabers ignited. Ignited. Avatar experience sounds more visual sound. Maybe the thought it'd be remodeled is to remodel the theater in Tomorrowland with THX audio screening update. Do you think they go that route?
That could
That
be.
theater has been just sitting there, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. The word experience really throws me off. I don't know what it is, but when he says we'll be as impressed or as impressed as what they have in Florida, I feel like there has to be some sort of immersion aspect.
Yeah.
There could very well be in a theater like that, but I really feel like the what we're seeing with the traveling avatar, the experience, which is literally what it's called, what's traveling right now. I think it's in Singapore. They also have a version of it in Shanghai Disneyland. There are parts of it that are really impressive and make you feel like you're there. So it can have that same effect and be sort of like a temporary ish installment, not
Yeah.
necessarily having to be not having to be like a full fledged immersive land or anything. So
Yeah. I feel the word experience is the weird one, but the fact that they talked about capacity, I feel like it's a land. That, and especially with the concept of as grand as like Walt Disney World's, like there's no way it's a theater. I want the theater to come to life too. That theater has the last time I walked in there was Toy Story 4, a trailer that was for like pass holders or something. And wow, that had to have been a long time ago. A real long time ago. Theme park and things, 19 months of membership. Theme parks, Johnny. Let's go. Many more. Come hit that purge horn, dude, no doubt. But most importantly, hope everyone is having a wonderful day on this rainy day. Thank you, Johnny, for 19 months of membership, my friend. Let's go. We also got Bomania. What up, fellas and special guest? Dude, Bowman, I love you, man. Can't wait to see you again.
what's going on, Bowman?
Bowman. Dude, thank you for 20 months, Bowman. I freaking love you, man. Max says he loves you too. Muppets and Star Wars outfits in the double decker, but hey, I'd take that. I don't know if people would want that though, but before we move on from Star Wars month, do we get Luke Skywalker and Anakin? Do we get Luke and Anakin? We got Princess Leia. What's holding them back from bringing Han Solo, Luke Skywalker,
I think they
Anakin,
had
just
Luke.
Padme? What do you think, Danny?
They've had Luke Skywalker at Disneyland. I'm pretty sure.
I know, but
Uh,
I'm talking about Star Wars month, like them bringing them for Star Wars month because we haven't seen them
oh,
forever.
yeah, no, I agree. Like that's why I said I want them to. I have hopes that they're gonna do like something good for Star Wars month to like bring up the hype, the food, the entertainment offerings, hopefully the photo ops, stuff like that. But I'm hoping it's not just hey, it's Star Wars month, but only in Tomorrowland. Like that's what I'm hoping it's not gonna be.
That's crazy. It really isn't nothing.
Yeah.
One I skipped it by accident, but we got Rick Nick with a super chat. Don't worry, Avatar Experience maybe will just be a cheap reskin of Grizzly and Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. Oh, and don't forget a photo op for Magic Key Holders. Dude, that's where we talked about it like maybe two speculation Sundays ago, where we thought that too, Rick. Um I just the thing is it's so early that like it's hard to make speculations,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like the floating rocks or just this immersion of Avatar world, something's coming. Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, I told Danny, if they did make that, just rethemed it, reimagined it into Avatar, what better way to like walk into the world of Avatar than in there? And then if
Yeah.
they made it like that UV lighting at night, how Animal Kingdom's Pandora goes, it'd be freaking sick. Uh,
Yeah.
I would say you probably kiss goodbye Villains Grove at that point. No more Villains Grove.
Yeah.
Which I'm on the boat. I don't want Villains Grove no more. Yeah, Max neither. Super chat, Johnny. USA down to their final 3 outs to Japan in the World Baseball Cup. You know, I was trying to watch that earlier, but it wasn't live at the time. But damn, keep us updated, Johnny. I would love to know the ending of that. Let me see. I'm just reading real quick. We got Schmelix. Trying to say that to my best. Thank you for 7 months. Oh my, I'm gonna hit that purge horn. I just want to purge horn it up today. We want those X-Wing drones for Star Wars month. I want them too.
We
Man.
remember it all too well.
I I thought it's not even just the drones or the X-Wing drones. It was the characters that brought the drones to life. They had like I'll say like 4 to 6 pilots that were like cheering people on, ignite the spark. Or what were they saying, Danny? You remember that?
Yeah, ignite the spark. Yeah.
Dude, oh man. And they didn't even make it 1 week. It was just a 1 day thing. 1 day thing. Uh, let me see. Let me see. I'm just reading. Brian says for Star Wars night, they need Star Wars version of storytellers at Oga's Cantina with some Cantina aliens from original Star Wars. Yeah, and I hope we get aliens in Oga's Cantina. That'd be so cool. That would be so cool. Even if it's just one alien, I feel like people would be content with that. We got Big Avocado. 21 months. Fine fires for the Big Avocado. I'm hoping they put the money and effort into Star Wars month and After Dark. Tickets sold out so quickly, they need to offer more bang for our buck. I'm still in the boat that I want to sell my ticket. I know it's not a popular opinion, but Princess Night, it kind of broke me. It's just kind of like, I
Yeah.
think I'm good. I think I'm good on these After Dark events. I want to say Disneyland's going to put the effort. I'm going to be on the positive side. I say they put the effort. I have a feeling though, Danny, Star Wars month might in reality mean Tomorrowland month. We already know we're getting Star Wars retheme or Star Wars
Right.
version of Space Mountain. They've been
Mm-hmm.
saying for like 2-3 years that we're getting a new Star Tours. You know that's coming in Star Wars month.
Right.
And what's stopping them from doing more Star Wars meet and greets? They've done that already in Launch Bay. So Star Wars month could in all reality mean Tomorrowland month. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. USC Greg, dude, nice to meet you. Five Fires USC Greg, nice to meet you, man. So great to finally meet you in Toontown on reopening. 11 out of 10 on the crowd meter. Real quick, Daddy, what were your thoughts with the crowds? For me, I feel like Toontown held its own pretty well, considering it's not that big.
Yeah, I was actually shocked at how how crowded it was. I didn't expect that many people to be back there, but at the same time, they were still able to flow traffic pretty well, and even people wanting to that were choosing to line up to get like the picnic basket and the blanket and all that stuff from Good Boys Grocers. Um, I feel like that even was pretty well organized. As best as it could have been. So it was like being, people were still able to sit down and, in the different parks and kind of like enjoy being in there for a little bit and come and go as they please. Like I felt like any sort of limitation getting into the land would have really muddied up things outside in Fantasyland area, and it really just let everything flow pretty well. But I was shocked at how crowded it actually was in Toontown. Like you said, it was able to hold its own. It definitely held a
It,
lot of people.
Toontown did a lot better than I was expecting, even though it was like horrible. It's just the fact that they could queue up so many people in Mickey and Minnie's. And in all reality, Roger Rabbit holds a pretty long ass queue by itself too. They could hold quite a bit. I think their real only issue was the Good Boy Grocers, because like I feel like Daisy's Diner, nobody really like gave me like a bad experience because a lot of people kind of just mobile ordered that. It was just Good Boy Grocer picnic basket. That's really where the rough experience was. And for the most part, too, Danny, I felt like I didn't really hear any complaints or negative experiences about meeting Mickey and Minnie inside their house. Everyone that I talked to said like lines moved pretty quick for what they expected to meet Mickey. Because sometimes to meet Mickey Mouse in Mickey Mouse's house was 2 hours on a freaking Tuesday. So
Yeah.
on opening day, they did good. They did really good. We got Rick Pierce with the super chat. Hi, Mondo Danny. Bricky has said Cosmic Rewind could fit in that area between Galaxy's Edge and Toontown. Why not Pandora in the same area? Fire punch. I just the reason I say it can't happen because I remember we had this discussion a long time ago about that specific section,
Yeah.
and we got a lot of word that there's just too many important like storage facility or just cast member behind the scenes stuff that just really can't go away. And to fit something there, I don't think that's their goal. When in reality, the big looming cloud is Disneyland Forward. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it just can't happen. But trust me, Rick, I would love Cosmic Rewind to come this way, or at least something the size of Cosmic Rewind, because that building is freaking huge. It's ginormous. We got Jackie Saldana. Oh my lanta! I was just watching your vlog, Jackie. Loved your nighttime Mickey Toontown tour. Need to check it out after fireworks. Zero wait for Runaway Railway. I don't know if I had a chance to tell you that yet, Danny. I had a chance to go to Toontown after fireworks on opening day.
Yeah.
Ghost Town. Ghost Town. I got on Mickey and Minnie's, literally walked up to the pre-show. And one of my things I said in the video, and then some people were messaging me, is at night from like 10 to 12, Mickey and Minnie's, for me on opening day, which was a complete S show, was a walk-on for pretty much the full 2 hours. But people still got their individual lightning lanes. And Disneyland had the whole time listed Mickey and Minnie's at 40 minutes. I heard they list the individual lightning lanes, Danny, at 40 minutes so people don't feel bad that they gave Disneyland $25 for no reason.
Right.
So what I'm trying to tell you, don't buy a Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway lightning lane after fireworks. Just give it a shot. You'll be shocked by the surprise of how short that wait is. Oh man. Let me see. I'm just reading. Toontown was amazing, but we tried to have a picnic and there was no room. The main picnic area was stroller parking. It wasn't supposed to be like that, but that's just the way it went down.
Yeah.
I think in all reality, Toontown, what we saw on opening day is not really like indicative of what it's going to look like 4 months from now, you know? Uh, I'm not trying to hate on Toontown, but it wasn't ever the most popular place to be in, because at the end of the day, you still have Disneyland. You got DCA. Like there's a lot to do other than just Toontown. If you have kids, Toontown's always been a very popular place, but for like the most part, adults, Toontown's kind of not where you're at, you know. But yeah, hopefully the picnic areas free up, because that does suck. You buy the perfect picnic to not find the perfect picnic spot.
Right?
Disney Fan Chan says, with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 releasing on May 5th, do you think the actors will be at the parks to promote the movie? Um, do you think Guardians has any effect on Disneyland, or I guess you could say Mission Breakout? If I had to take a quick guess, there's for sure a character coming from the movie here that we don't already have. What are your thoughts, Danny?
Yeah, I've that's kind of what I would say too. We'd probably get something like a character coming to Avengers Campus, but I feel like the celebrities themselves, they're gonna probably, if they were to do anything press junket related in regards to the movie as part of their contract, I would say Disney would probably push them to Florida since Cosmic Rewind's still pretty new.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
true.
new attraction isn't, it's Tron, so they still want to bring some hype and attention to Guardians over there. So we already had the celebrities of previous Guardians movies come to our Guardians attraction. So I feel like they could do it over there and have them experience that and get them on camera and all that kind of stuff and bring some more hype to that. But I agree with Mondo. I definitely think we could see a character that we don't have from Guardians of the Galaxy area come to that Avengers Campus area during, like, or before the movie comes out, like when we kind of get closer to it, for sure. At least for like a temporary period.
I have a feeling it's going to be Drax. I don't know why. Or Groot. I mean, not Groot. Rocket. I think if we could have a Rocket Groot meet and greet, that'd be sick. And then Rocket Groot, Gamora, Star Lord. You pretty much have the whole cast there. But that is true. Cosmic Rewind is a lot more relevant than Mission Breakout, and
Yeah.
but then again, it's like I don't know. I don't really feel lately that the stars go to Florida. I feel like they come here. Like they're coming to Cali. Theme park and things with the super chat. USA down 3-2 with Shohei Otani closing. Mike Trout will be third. Batter, we're going to get Angel versus Angel with maybe the game on the line now. Wow, that's freaking crazy. I'll talk about good ending to that. Well, hey, let's get that home run for USA. That's crazy. Angel on Angel right there. I hope the characters continue to walk around Toontown and not opening date deal. This was so nice to see. So I want to talk about that too, real quick, Danny. You know, Disney pulls out all the bells and whistles, opening day, opening weekend for the media, do all this stuff we'll never see. Do the characters still roam a month from now in the summertime? What are your thoughts, dude? Do they do? Because that to me, the characters roaming was my favorite part of Toontown. It made it so
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah, Peter from Ordinary Adventures, he brought up a good point. He said they're going the Galaxy's Edge route, and they're just having the characters kind of walk around to sort of bring authenticity to the area, make it feel like it's living and that the characters are there. They weren't really stopping for meet and greets, other than maybe a few pictures here and there. They were just walking around. They were walking around their Toontown, right? So, kind of the way like Ray walks around, doesn't really have a spot where you can sit and line up to catch Ray. Like, maybe she'll stop for a few autographs or a photo, but she's not gonna like stand in one space and have people start lining up for her. And this was kind of the same thing. They were just walking the characters through. Pete, of course, was walking through. Daisy would come out by her apartment and her cafe, like check in with all the people that were eating food, and then Pluto and Goofy were kind of like over by his house over there. So it was like really nice to see, like Hula Mama was saying, to see the characters walk around Toontown really gave it kind of that authenticity of like, hey, actually a toon town where toons live. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
and it
totally.
also kind of like gave you the impression that like maybe they could use this space to like introduce special characters in the future. Like maybe we get a Roger Rabbit come out every once in a while, or maybe they can
Roger
start,
Rabbit should be a staple, Danny.
or they can even start bringing out some of the '90s cartoons that they make a lot of references to. Like they can bring out like the characters from Tailspin or Ducktales. You know, they've got all those costumes. They've brought them out before multiple times, so it's uh it's definitely I like the idea of it. I do hope they continue doing it too.
Yeah, I think that was the coolest part because sometimes it happened to us. Me and Danny were like at the Bigfoot lookout area, which is behind Goofy's house. And all of a sudden, Goofy's coming up the walk path and playing with the
Yeah,
kids. And then he was helping kids go down the slide. And then Goofy's like hopscotching and Pluto's hopscotching and playing on the bridge and stuff. You can't beat that. Like for a little kid, I can just imagine how cool that must be of like, dude, I'm literally in Toontown. Like I'm in the cartoon. It's just incredible. Theme park in Johnny. Japan wins. Trout strikes out. Damn, that's it. That's a wrap. Dude, Johnny, thank you for letting us know. Thank you for the last super chat that was keeping us up to date of all this. That's it, dude. Hey, congratulations to Japan, though. And Trout, you suck. I'm just kidding. I'm a Dodger fan. Oh, man. Let me see. Toontown looks fantastic. Definite upgrade. Oh, it's for sure an upgrade. The pre-pandemic Toontown was struggle bus hard.
yeah.
Um,
So,
what were you gonna
oh
say, Danny?
no, I was just gonna say, what theme park do you want to start with tonight?
Yeah. Before we get started, we got our special guest.
Uh oh.
Special guest coming through. Oh my land. Let's go. Let's go. So I said I had a special guest. Japanese baseball. Yeah. Hey, congratulations to them. Big time. Let me bring it up real quick. All right. So, he ain't having it. But the special guest, I know we haven't had even a chance to really talk about it or anything, but I wanted to bring little Max on a Speculation Sunday. He's not having it right now, but we'll see if he could be in a better mood. But I'll bring Max on in a little bit. I just want him to say hi to the Five Fire community. I don't think he's ready for the showtime. Showtime. All right, we'll bring Max on later. At least we still have Dodger dogs. Oh man. All right. Maybe it's past Max. We were gonna bring him on to say hi to everybody, but I don't think he's ready. Oh, little Maxie. Oh, Mystery Babe was all excited. Hold on real quick, Dan. We got Melissa coming through with 5 months of membership. Thank you so much, Melissa. Had fun hanging out with you guys. I know we were in the freaking rain for a bit. My 8-year-old self freaked out when Hillary Duff was exiting TT while I was entering. I'll miss old TT rope drop. Toontown. We probably will never get that rope drop experience of the old Toontown. I think it's gone. It's gone. Man. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. We didn't get none of that. There was no like Mickey comes out to the entrance, greets everybody like, come on to Toontown. I hope maybe they still do it. You never know. Jennifer Acuna says Max is already my favorite new vlogger. Damn. They said be great to see Mystery Bay too. She got her makeup ready. I was trying to bring her on. We got Jay and Kat. Oh my Lanta. Thank you for becoming a member of the Five Fire community. Also too, I'm gonna try to work with Benji this week if we get new emojis. That's my big. I want to free up time and focus on that. I've been very busy this last week. It's been crazy. All right, I want to start off with Disneyland, Danny, because that's the big topic of conversation. There's a lot going on at Disneyland. If you're new to Speculation Sunday, when we do this live stream, we go into specific theme parks and we only talk about that specific theme park until we go on to the next one. So we're not going to take Universal questions, Knott's questions, Disneyland. With Disneyland and everything that's going on, Danny, how do you feel? Like, what is the gauge in regards to like the success? Because there's been a lot of change, and I feel like for the most part, everything has been accepted and very like almost glorious, dude. Wondrous Journey is like packing the crowds like crazy every time that goes off, even when it's
Yeah,
just projections. But what do you think? What do you think about the overall state of Disneyland right now? Let's
yeah.
talk some Disney.
I think with the addition of Mickey's Toontown like being revitalized, I guess you could say, um, it's definitely looking better than it ever has, right? It definitely gives theme parks like the Magic Kingdom a run for its money. Um, there's so much to do in Disneyland and so much new, and even something like Indiana Jones Adventure, the slight changes that were made to that really kind of just breathed new life into that attraction, and got it back up and running to kind of how it was when it first opened, but then added these new plussed up effects as well too. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it can stay up and running for a while. But
Yeah.
I feel like with Disney 100 celebration and the reimagining of Toontown and the new fireworks show and all the Magic Happens parade coming back. I feel like Disneyland's just in a really good spot right now, and it's in a high value spot too. Like
And
it's
one thing too, Danny,
bringing the value.
the refurbishment of the much needed Indiana Jones. Everybody loved it. Everybody, I haven't been on it. It still broke down, but
Yeah,
everybody's had nothing but good things to say about the new projection effects that got added and stuff like that. Um, that's cool. Uh, the soon, whenever the hell we get that treehouse, but Splash Mountain still standing. Freaking, what is it? May or March 21st. There's a lot of conversation that once Indy comes back, Splash will go down. That's not the case. Splash Mountain is still going. Is there any chance? I know this sounds crazy that Splash goes to like October, or is that crazy talk? Because why is it even running right now?
yeah. I just feel like I'm just a little nervous for everything because it feels like there's so little time left for the opening day that they've set for this attraction, and the more and more time goes, the more there's left to do. There's someone mentioned, and I think maybe in a past live streamer or something, I don't know, maybe in person, I forgot exactly how I found out about it, but they said there's a lot that they can work on this attraction specifically, off site, and then when they bring it, like they can bring it on site. So they've already started working on a lot of stuff off site, is what I've heard.
Okay.
So maybe that's kind of what's the deal right now. But it just makes me worry. We have the biggest rain season we've had in a really long time, and look how that delayed and rushed Toontown really into kind of what we got this past weekend. And I'm afraid of that same thing happening again, but for Mickey's Toontown, or for Tiana's Bayou adventure attraction. So I just want them to have enough time to like get this right, not have to cut corners, not have to rush anything, and open it up so that we get like a beloved attraction that people love, Splash Mountain, but also Tiana's first attraction done really right and in a good way.
Yeah. I don't know, Danny. It's gonna be crazy. I have a feeling. I don't know if this is just off the memory. I feel like Disney wanted Splash Mountain on both coasts to open simultaneously. Wasn't that like a
Yeah,
thing? I
it
have
is.
a
Yeah, that's
feeling.
why.
I was just gonna say I have a feeling that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I was Jamie Lynn's comment in the chat. I don't know that that's right because they said that they wanted to open both of the attractions simultaneously in late 2024, whatever that means. To anyone, that could be December, that could be September, October. It kind of just depends, I guess, how you view that. Um, so they it wouldn't make sense for the Imagineers to finish what they're doing there and then come here if they want to try to open them together. So unless that's gone out the door, and we just don't know about it, which could very well be because we didn't get a lot of stuff that was promised for Mickey's Toontown, and they said all that was going to happen at certain times, and it didn't come. So it could just be that we ever since that I feel like ever since the trend of the 2019 D23 Expo, we've got a lot of over promising and sometimes not always delivering. So
A whole lot of on the other side of Thunder Mountain. Yeah. For Disneyland though, I got a lot of questions that people were asking on like Instagram. Do you think Disneyland up capacity, or they're still going strong with the we're only gonna be 80% and make more money because we have reservations? Uh, I want to say they're raising capacity because why bring single rider? That was a crazy one to Space Mountain. I didn't see that coming.
yeah, I didn't either actually, it, and honestly, I think I don't know about you, Mondo, but I feel like it's a weird time for them to close. And I know they're not closing for very long, but I felt like all the things that we know about like attractions closing during the off season, right? Which makes the off season the off season. I mean,
Yeah.
you would come in January and February, and you would see like four major e-ticket attractions closed, and that was pretty normal. You always saw Splash Mountain close during January and February because that's just kind of like how it is. This year, it stayed open. We had Haunted Mansion Holiday stay open all the way till January 30th. And then
Crazy.
now they're waiting to do refurbishments for Matterhorn and for Big Thunder next month, like in April, like spring break time.
That's
Like
like right around the corner.
it's so weird to me. Like this year, I feel like is the weirdest year when it comes to refurbishments. And I don't know if they were just delaying all those because of how much rain we were getting. But it's been weird. It's definitely been weird. So like I've like any previous experience you might use and trying to figure out or speculate, I feel like it's just out the window this year because everything they've been doing is just so different. Like, we all speculated that Splash Mountain was going to close in January and February. That's kind of like what we thought because that's what it always did. And then
Mm-hmm.
it's still open now. And, Walt Disney World's is closed, but ours is still open and never went down for refurb. And even if Tiana's Bayou Adventure never happened, and we were just continuing to have Splash Mountain, it would have already gone down and come back up again for refurbishment, and
Yeah.
we didn't even get that. So right now, Splash Mountain's already operating beyond its normal like refurbishment period. It's going beyond that. So it's Mondo said he wrote it and there was a lot of things that weren't working. And then some people wrote it and said like things were fixed, like the owl's eyes on the lift hill and stuff like that. Like I was
Dude,
seeing all
the
kinds of things.
the last uh like the last 30 seconds going up to the lift hill before you go down the big splash, nothing worked. It was so dark in there. I don't even know if the animatronics were moving. It was just to me it looked like a lot of lighting effects weren't working on Splash Mountain the last time I rode it. It was just one of those like, man, they maybe they're just kind of over fixing things. Like they're just because they know it's going down and it's gone. Like it's gone forever. We're gonna have Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Um, let me see. I'm just reading. Is there anything?
Did you have any member questions?
Yeah, yeah. Jim, he asked, "What are the ways you feel? What other ways do you feel could work to make the Lightning Lane process better for wait times and guests once they're in the park? I know they won't get rid of the program, but could it be better than it currently is for us and Disney? Is there a better something since now we kind of have like the idea of Lightning Lane, Disney Genie Plus? Is there anything that could make it a better thing, like a better situation? Uh, I know for Disney the answer is make it more expensive, but for the guest, is there anything that can make it better?
Yeah, I think I think they should make it more expensive. I think they should make it more expensive, and I think they should redo how guests access the attraction, and actually spend the money and the time to make that access better. Right? We consistently see Indiana Jones like spill well outside of its normal queue, not only for Lightning Lane, but for the regular queue. And the reality of that situation is that it's because they have a gigantic line inside Indiana Jones Adventure, like a massive line that they themed for guests to be able to wait in. And when they introduced Fast Pass and then now Lightning Lane for it, they have to not let anyone wait in that line. And you don't even get to experience it. You like I remember in the past you'd wait and all that. You could be able to play around. You had the little cards, to decipher all the stuff because they wanted you to be able to do stuff while you're in line. And now, if they gave you those little cards, you can't even spend enough time in there to even decipher anything anyway. But they have to hold everyone outside the building now because otherwise, it doesn't even make Lightning Lane worth it, right? They have to make the line inside the building super short because the Lightning Lane and the regular line merge outside. So like there's if the Lightning Lane isn't really skipping all that much, then it's not really worth it there. But at the same time, the Lightning Lane only has enough space on that little bridge that's right there. So I feel like I always use Indiana Jones as an example of like being the worst Lightning Lane you could ever redeem. And I just feel like that's where they could do things better. Like um for like Soren, like don't just merge it from the outside to the inside. Like if they're doing Lightning Lane, they should go all the way to where you're getting picked into a row. Like that's what Lightning Lane should be. Like if you're paying the money to do it, like that's where you should go. It made sense for Fast Pass, right? Because you're not paying for that experience. You were just basically reserving a spot
Just
in line
reserving a spot, yeah.
to wait in a lesser line, right? And so, but now that you're paying for that experience, I think it should be more expensive, like expresses and like fast lane at Knott's Berry Farm. But those get you pretty much right to the front with few exceptions here and there. Like there's been some crazy days where like Jurassic World's like express is like out and around the corner. But those are like
But
one-off
it's
days.
rare. It's rare at
Right.
Universal that Express is bad. It's very rare.
Yeah, it's like it works great on Harry Potter. I've never used it on Simpson Mondo. I don't know if you've used it there before.
Simpsons could be a long wait. People love their Express on Simpsons.
Yeah,
Uh,
so but like it's just insane. Like the Lightning Lane sometimes for like Radiator Springs Racers, Indiana Jones, the Lightning Lane that Soren sometimes that comes out and around the corner.
yeah,
They just need to. That's how they can improve it, and they need to make it more expensive so that, and then they also need to rework the queues so that the Lightning Lane guests get to go, more expedited.
yeah.
I personally don't. I don't use Lightning Lane like almost ever. But
Get the lightning lanes quicker. Done.
yeah,
Get them
but I feel
done.
like if they're gonna charge for it, at least make it something worth charging for.
All right. I think we're ready for the newest member of Five Fire's YouTube.
Oh, here we go.
Let's see. We'll see if he's having it. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I felt like it's time. But this is little Max. Oh, you're so cute. There's a little Maxer. This is little Max.
Oh, he's
Oh,
got
say
a
hi to
shirt on.
everybody. Can you say
Yeah,
hi?
sure.
Let me hit that purge horn. Little purge horn for Max. How you doing? Man. So little Max hasn't been able to go to Disneyland just yet. He's kind of born in the worst weather ever to go to the theme parks. But I was telling Mystery Bay, I was like, hopefully soon, hopefully soon. We got to get this little boy out there. What ride do you want to ride first? I got too many lights over here on me. It's like, I don't know where to look. I don't know what to do with my hands. But this is little Max Hollywood. Just wanted him to say hi to everybody. Oh. let me see. Can you see your smile? Can we see your smile? Oh.
He's
All
no
right.
longer
All right.
he's no longer hungry anymore.
Yeah, he's just like on that milk high right now. He's like, I'm good.
It's bedtime.
Yeah, it's like his bedtime. All right, love you. Love you. Say bye, everybody. Five fires. Five fire. Hey, and shout out to Benji with the five fire onesie. Look
Yeah,
at
I love that shirt. Look at that shirt.
that. All right. Love you, Max. All right. Man, I can't wait to take him to Toontown. That's for sure. Love you, Max.
I want to see his face when he sees Mickey.
I know.
He's just gonna be
I'm
like
excited.
eyes big, like what?
I
want to
see his face when he sees blue. That's what I want to see. I'm just kidding. Real quick, we got a super chat from Theme Park Johnny dropping the file. Oh my god! Let's go. I have a friend who rode Splash Mountain yesterday, and he said it looks in better shape than before.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's why I was like, Mono said it looked bad, but then people were saying they like fixed things on the lift hill and stuff, and I was like, what the heck?
I believe Johnny, but the last time I rode it, it was bad. But hey, I got to get on it again. Man, okay. So real quick, if Disneyland is fixing things, maybe this is staying for a while. Why would they go out of their way to keep refurbishing? Maybe I have a feeling Splash Mountain might go through summer. Just saying. USC Greg says Indy Lightning Lane took 2 hours because it kept breaking down on Friday. Dude. Sheesh. Are they going to bring single rider to Indy? I would say yes. Why would it come to Space Mountain and not Indy? Could we get single rider back at Star Tours too, please?
Did you see how they're implementing it though, Mondo, at Space Mountain?
Dude, okay, I want to ask that real quick, Danny. I saw a sign today at the entrance where like you would do standby or lightning lane of Space Mountain. Why is there a single rider line there when it used to always be at the exit?
Let me tell you, it's the wackest single rider I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, what? I gotta hear this. I haven't seen the process. This is all new to me.
I don't even understand why they're doing it this way. You know, there's people that get paid a lot more money than me that are industrial engineers. Maybe they figured this out. I have no idea. I wish someone would explain to me because I don't understand. So you literally go in the regular standby or the lightning lane side of the queue with lightning lane, and they give you like a laminated card. And then when you get to the point where lightning lane goes to the left and standby goes to the right outside, you go with lightning lane to the left. And then the only way that they can like tell that you're not lightning lane is because of your laminated card. Tell me someone's not going to just like throw that and just pretend that they're lightning lane. So you have to hold this like card. And then when you get essentially what they're doing is they're at the part where there's the lightning lane merging with the regular line to go inside Space Mountain. They're like grouping you with people right there. So like they'll ask how many people are in the lightning lane line, and then they'll say, oh, there's 4 of us. Okay, well, you would take up this many cars like on Space Mountain. So here's a single rider, and you're now part of this group. So they like put you as a single rider in line with some people you don't know, and then you like wait in line with them until you get on the ride, and then you're supposed to be honest and like go and go on this ride with this group of people you don't know? Like you could just go to the front and ask. You could go to the front and ask for the front row. I don't know. I
What?
feel like I have
I'm doing.
no idea
I
why they're
gotta do
doing
this experience, Danny.
it.
What the?
I,
What
I
in
was
the
like,
Baba freak?
I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it, but I was like, I really want Mondo to do
Hey,
this.
just throwing it out there. Disneyland, whoever's managers, important people were like, look, the old single rider way just didn't work. It was too easy. How about we do whatever Danny just said? And that's they were like, you know what, do it.
Oh,
Single
so
rider is
confusing.
like cool because you would go in through the exit, you'd be right there at the exit, and they'll be like, hey, we need one, boom. Hey, we need two, boom. You know what I mean? Now all
Yeah.
this grouping and staying, oh man.
Yeah, like okay, Mondo, you're one. All right. So here's this family of five. You're gonna follow them now through the line, and you're
Awkward.
gonna and make sure you get on the ride with that family of five. That's your family now.
I'm just gonna no comment until I experience it because that's just I don't know. It just sounds like why make it harder? It already worked good. We got Jason, 1 month membership, 5 fires. What's up, Mondo? Just wanted to say thank you for everything you do. Thank you for your support, my friend. Shout out to the Mystery Bay for letting you do your stream. I couldn't do it without her. Every day I wake up, I'm so thankful for this beautiful woman in my life. I love you, Mystery Bay. I say that to her every day. Every day. Let me see. Let me see. I'm just reading. I'm seeing what a cute chunky boy. He was looking thin for a little bit. Everybody's like, we want a chunky boy. Oh man. Let's see. I'm just going through the chats right now. Thank you for all the kind words on Baby Max, and I'm glad I got to introduce him and say hi to the Five Fire community first. And he loves you guys. I'm just gonna say that right now. He loves you guys so much. Um, Let me see. I'm just reading. I feel like they should bring special characters to Toontown like Scrooge McDuck and Roger Rabbit. I feel like it's all in the works. They're coming. I feel like the one that I think is coming, not Scrooge McDuck, but Darkwing. I think he's coming in Halloween. I'm just gonna throw that out there. We have his candy. There's like a candy box inside the queue of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Thank you, Big Avocado. Man, I am way behind on chat on the chat right now. I'm just catching up. Danny, let me go into. Is there anything you want to talk about with Disneyland?
Well, that was one of them. I was shook when I found out about that procedure of the single rider.
Why would you make it complicated? I'm just that's like the only question I would ask. Like why?
Well, I just not only the complication of it all, like, but the
It's like it
aspect of,
reminds me of the Office episode. Why are you the way you are?
no,
Or
like
something.
no, it's the aspect of okay, they've entered the building, they've left the merge point where the guests merged from standby to lightning lane. How does any cast member down at the bottom know that this is a single rider other than their little laminated card?
And at that point, why don't you just be like, "Hey, I'm just part of this line."
That's what I'm
Let
saying.
me
You
tell
just,
you.
like,
I can tell
choose
you
where
what
you
it
want to
is.
go.
I'm just gonna say right now, Danny. It's all about money. How can we back up the standby line even more with lightning lanes so we can sell more lightning lanes? No, we don't want efficiency and get people through the exit and make it easy. Stick them in the standby merge area of lightning lane. Just make it even busier. That's the only answer I could think of. That
Well,
why they did that.
is it an answer because it's like single rider is a free option and it's like a way to skip the line, and now this kind of makes the single riders like wait in line
Exactly.
again?
And guess what happens? More standby wait means more lightning lane sold. Oh, Space Mountain's 120. And behind the scenes, they're like, yes, buy your $20, $30 lightning lanes. We got them. They think they're waiting less than that single rider line. Super chat. Max is cute. Thank you for not naming him Maverick. Oh, whoa. We'll name the next one Maverick. Just kidding. Jay Alicron, love him, awesome membership. Mondo, awesome to finally meet Max. Hope all is good. Keep killing it. 5 fires. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you always, man, for all your support. And keep grinding, dude. Keep those workouts going, bro. Let me see. But thank you so much for 11 months, dude. Also, theme park. Johnny is just like, oh my God, I got to hit this bat, dude. Just... Still waiting on let me see t-shirt. That's funny. I do not have that in the mix at all, but that would be a good one. Let me see. Oh man. Let me see. Regular Joshua says, it's crazy to me. Disneyland has almost been in business for 70 years. How can they be making such stupid decisions like this? It makes no sense. I don't know. The only answer I could think of is they don't want it to be efficient. They would prefer to back up the line. I thought the whole purpose of single rider was for efficiency of like, hey, there's a spot open. Get somebody in there. Hey, there's a spot open. Instead of like back up the standby. What? Dude, I'm glad you brought that up, Dad. I didn't know that. I just thought it was weird to see single rider at the entrance of Space Mountain because it was always at the exit. So that's how it didn't correlate to me that there's a new process. We got Boba Rose with 3 months of membership. Thank you for introducing Baby Max to us. My son and I were super excited to finally meet. Hey, thank you so much. 5 fires. Thank you so much, Boba Rose. Can't wait to bring Max to the parks. I don't even know what should his first ride be. Like what? I don't even know.
Train.
Which one, Danny?
The train.
The train's a good one. He can see
Small
dinosaurs.
World. Yeah, Small World's a good one too because there's a lot to look at for a baby.
Small World. Can newborns do KC Jr.? Is that a thing? I don't even know what the newborn list is. I don't know. Or I guess they're considered no height. What's the coolest no height limit ride? I don't even know. I don't even know the answer to that. Jessica says, yes, Mondo, you need 2 more. Hey, don't tell that to my mom. My mom's already in love with Max. I don't know. That's a lot of loving. We have 2 more. I would hope I get a girl at that point. That'd be cool. Melissa said Jungle Cruise. Oh wow. The new Snow White is no height limit. Guardians. I hope that's one thing. I hope Max is. He just loves freaking crazy rides. The Tiki Room's a good one. That would be good, right? That would be a good one. Non-swinging gondolas? No way. That's a no height requirement? I guess it would be. I don't know. That's crazy. Before we get out of Disneyland, anything you guys want to talk about, post in the comments right now. We'll bring up some topics.
We didn't talk at all about Toontown.
Damn, we hadn't even talked about Toontown. But post in the comments, everybody in the chat. What do you guys want to talk about? We'll go after that, after the Toontown. Let me give my review real quick of Toontown. I think it's beautiful. Everything about it, to me, like, I feel like this land's going to be great for the next 10 to 20 years. I really hope that tree, the Imagineer or the Imagination tree or the Waltz tree, I'm going to call it the Waltz tree. I hope the Waltz tree is something that just kind of grows in a more grand kind of thing. But overall, Max's Playground was probably like the most fun these kids have had at Disneyland. They were going down the slides, going up to the tree house or the lookout thing. They were just playing with all like the interaction stuff over there at Donald's boat. These little kids were just running around everywhere, all the grass areas, nice places to just sit down too. I feel like Toontown is the perfect piece to this Disneyland because uh, Disneyland has plethora of stuff for adults, but now that it has Toontown, you could just do that for the kids and family. And to me, the only thing that I still feel is not a good move, and Disneyland, they're in their own world, but in my world, I would never put the merch store anymore at the end of rides. I almost hate that idea. It's just so swimming upstream and congested, and I feel like it's a bad shopping experience in there. Maybe I'm just feeling that way because of opening day, or I guess I went soft opening. But I feel like come summer, come Halloween, come Christmas, it's gonna be always a S show in there. So, not a good idea. I feel like Disney needs to go away from the whole uh, putting stores at the exit of rides. I don't like that idea anymore. What do you think, Danny? What are your overall thoughts and just key things of Toontown?
Yeah, I like the implementation of like Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters and like Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom, right? They still exit into gift shops, but they give you the alternative to leave and not go through the gift shop. So traffic can still flow, right? For Buzz Lightyear, you can go straight on out to Tomorrowland, or you can choose to go into Little Green Man Store Command.
That is
And
true. That
same with
is
Flight of
true.
Passage. You can like go to the right and around the building, or you can go right through Wind Traders into the gift shop. But Wind Traders is a lot bigger and can accommodate more. But it can still get pretty packed in Wind Traders when you're in there. So it all just depends. But overall for Toontown, there was a lot of things. I think the thing here was um, overall, I would say overarching, like Mondo, I think it's really beautiful. It's great what they've done to Toontown, bringing it into a more modern era. They really brought a lot of references to 90s cartoons, which I felt was like a great move because the 90s kids are what grew up with Toontown. That's when it debuted. It was their Disneyland when they were kids, and now those 90s kids have their own kids, and it makes sense to make the things that they were kids with relevant now in Toontown, so that it's relevant for them to show their kids, oh, I remember this from when I was a kid, oh, I remember this from when I was a kid. And they can have a lot of those moments, like the way that our parents were having those moments with us when they were talking about the different things in Toontown when we were there. So it was cool to see that the new music that was playing in Toontown, hearing the Goofy movie songs and the DuckTales theme song, like, but in like a different kind of sound. You know what was weird to me though, Mondo, is that I actually really enjoyed the music that was playing in Toontown when it was just Runaway Railway. I thought it was really really great music.
Yeah, did that loop just disappear? Because I don't
Yeah,
remember hearing that
no,
anymore.
it totally did. It totally did. I was there Saturday and Sunday, and that loop that we had when it was just Runaway Railway is totally gone. It never played. I don't know if they have like different loops for different days. I don't know what's going on, but for Saturday and Sunday, it was playing the same loop like over and over again.
I
And
liked the song when it was just Mickey and Minnie's Runaway
I did
Railway.
too. There was one really cool thing that was happening, and I want everyone to like make sure you experience it because I don't know that it's necessarily happening at either point, but the way that Galaxy's Edge, it seems like they took a lot of what they had as far as experience from Galaxy's Edge and building that, and they tried to bring it in little subtle ways to Toontown. I mentioned earlier, Peter from Ordinary Adventure said they really brought the idea of the characters just roaming, bringing life to Toontown as an idea from Galaxy's Edge. I think that's definitely what came over. Um, I think the costumes were a great win. Toontown had absolutely the worst costumes in all of Disneyland. They were the worst costumes, period. When I worked at Disneyland in the stores way back in the day, back when I was working there, if someone like you had a hub area where you were working, but if someone called out, you'd have to help somewhere else, and they would you'd have these like shifts called group shifts, and they would call you in, and you would help wherever people called out, right? And so for me, I was centered in like Tomorrowland and all that stuff, but I literally worked everywhere. And I remember having to work in Toontown, and those costumes were like these thick overalls, just terrible. It was the worst. But these new costumes are so cool. They look so comfortable, and they actually are all vibrant. So
The new
I just
cast member outfits are the best in Disneyland right now,
yeah.
in my
So,
opinion.
but one other thing I was gonna
From the
say,
comfort aspect too.
one other thing I was gonna say from the things they learned from Galaxy's Edge. Well, we all know for those that have walked in and out of Galaxy's Edge, they have that transformation magic moment that happens in the different like tunnels. Right, you're in the tunnel in Frontierland, or you're in the tunnel right after Fantasyland. You hear the music playing, and you hear the distant sounds of the Galaxy's Edge fanfare that they got John Williams to help them score, and you're hearing it play with like a magical like flute noise and all this stuff, and that's like your magical transition from Disneyland into Galaxy's Edge. Well, they actually recreated this over at Toontown, and not a lot of people picked up on this. I don't know if it was going in on the right side, but as you're going out, you definitely hear it. They play this magical transition sound when you're leaving Toontown and going back into Fantasyland, of like all this like tune noise, like a tuba banging, and like
I heard
cymbals,
that. I
like
remember
cymbals
hearing that.
clashing together, and like this magical like dust sound, and then it just becomes quiet, and you're in Fantasyland. So it's like you're leaving the Toon World, and you're like turning back into a human again. And they
It's so
didn't like
cool.
yeah, they didn't really highlight that anywhere, and I didn't. Unfortunately, it was kind of really busy at the entrance and exit, so I didn't really get to capture um, that little magical transition moment in my video that's coming up. So I'll have to get that at a future update. But I thought that was really cool. My only like I actually posted my podcast today on my thoughts on it all. My only negatives were um, the fountain, and also the tree, and you know that we the I think the thing is like if Mondo's sitting right now in front of the tree artwork, right? It's right in front of him. It's right behind him. I mean, sorry. And the tree itself was this like over dramatized like cartoon tree, right? We're in Toontown. Like we don't need things to look realistic. We don't need things to look like a real tree, right? We're not in the real world. We're in Toontown. And everything around you is not real. You have fake houses, you have windy roads that don't have straight lines painted on them. You have these over exaggerated buildings, cars. The food is crazy, like everything's crazy. So why do they go so far out of their way to make this tree look so real? And not only that, like the entirety of the land is fake and bright, and there's literally like bright colors everywhere, neon. The fountain's like vibrant, like the hills are vibrant, and then you have this ugly gray tree. It's not even a brown tree. The tree is literally like sick gray, and then the leaves are like those dark gray green leaves that are like waxy that just get dirty. Like that's what this tree is. And and the tree that they showed us in the artwork was this like over stylized cartoon tree that has like, you know, whenever you see the trees in cartoons, whenever they depict a cartoon tree, it always has that knot hole cut out, right? That has some sort of little critter living in it, like an owl or like a chipmunk or a rabbit or something up in that tree in the little hole. And in the artwork, they have that little hole. And even in the artwork for the magic key holders that they're giving out right now, that special artwork, even that artwork has the tree with the hole in it, and then Chip and Dale are inside of it. So like I
Damn.
was fully, it's just that like they made it so they went out of their way at D23 Expo in the announcements on Disney Parks blog to like hype up this tree and like show that, yeah, look, the little like the knot hole. Like whenever you see and like even when we were kids, right? When you're a little kid and you're drawing like a fake tree and you're like with your crayons, you would always draw the little hole on the tree. Like I feel like that's everyone did that. I can't be alone in that. I feel
I
like
love
every
how much shade that tree's doing because The tree that we eventually got, did there was not a lot of shade coming from it, at least
Yeah,
right now.
and I feel like people are like, "Oh, why are you putting so much focus on this tree? Like it's gonna grow." It's being like we're not putting focus on this tree because like we're trying to nitpick. We're putting focus on this tree because they presented on it on D23 Expo. They posted about it in Disney Parks blog. They said it was going to be this amazing tree that was going to have these like magical effect that was going to go in sync with the fountain and would be like this whole centerpiece for Toontown. And like when in all reality, you can walk into Toontown and you don't even know it's there. It's like on the left hand side, but they positioned it like if they had literally never said anything about this tree, and like it was just a tree that's in Goofy's backyard, which kind of look that's what it looks like. Then no one would have cared, and it just it would have these really cool roots that are all around it that like kids can play on. Cool, like no one would have said anything, but like they went out of their way to like make this tree a big deal. So that's why people were making a big deal about it because they're like, this is what you guys were hyping up, like, and this is what it was. And in my opinion, that tree should have been fake. It should not have been a real tree. It should have been a sculpted tree that they made that was super cartoonized, especially if they're wanting it to be the centerpiece of Toontown. We don't need a real tree. We don't need a tree that's real. Like we need a fake tree because it's Toontown.
I do want to
So,
say on my end, I heard a lot of discussion. It was not supposed to be this. Disneyland wanted to have a grand tree. It just didn't work out. It didn't work out. I won't go into details or nothing of that, but
well,
I heard they wanted to go hard. It just didn't work out. Um,
I can share the Imagineer that I talked to on Saturday. I mentioned to him. He asked me what I thought, and I told him everything was great. But I said the tree just looks so much different from what you guys were like making it out to be. And he said that they chose this tree somewhere else, and the tree that they chose was this tree right here that's on the screen was like 3 times bigger than what it was, and for whatever reason, the way they have to bring it into Disneyland to put it in place, um, there's probably more expensive ways to do that, right? Where they don't affect the tree by like helicoptering it in or bringing a big crane to lift it up and over buildings and put it in place. But they didn't go that route, right? They wanted to go the probably quicker slash cheaper route, which was to transport this tree on a truck or some sort of moving something into where it needed to go. Well, in that process, he said that as it went through the different clearances throughout Disneyland Resort, they had to keep cutting the tree back. So they got to this corner of the backstage area. Okay, well, it's not going to fit. So now they have to whack off this limb. Then they're getting over to this bridge and this clearance around this building. Now we have to whack off this limb. And as they were getting it closer to Toontown, it just lost so much of its volume. And he said by the time they put it in, it was not it was unrecognizable from what they had ideally thought it was going to be. But he did
just
mention,
saying one more time, make it a fake tree.
I know. He said he said that this was a very similar tree that the horticulture specialists or whoever helped them assured that it would get really big. But even then, I argue that like the tree itself is still um, it's the same type of tree that's in front of Pirates of the Caribbean, right? That's not a really like remarkable tree. Sure, it gets those trees got really big, right? And they were very iconic in for Pirates of the Caribbean because they really place make that area and really brought that same color tone that like led you into Adventureland, right? And but they're not like bright. And again, we're in Toontown. We're in Mickey's Toontown where everything's exaggerated and all the colors are vibrant. Like, and then there's a gray tree. Like to me, that doesn't make sense.
I do want to say, I'm just playing devil advocate here. The tree really doesn't affect Toontown at all. It
It
was,
doesn't. It
I,
doesn't.
I think our standpoint of what we're saying, Disneyland, Disney made it a big deal.
They made it a
and
big
then you
deal.
got that. So that's I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
That's what
like I
we're
said,
doing.
if they never said anything about it,
Nobody would care. It'd be
no
like,
one would
oh
care.
hey,
It would actually be really cool tree with like these lanterns in it. Like
yeah. It's like, hey,
that's
why?
yeah,
Yeah,
but like they made it a point to like, talk about all these things that it was going to be.
yeah. If
And
I
then
remember exactly, it was like this is the tree that Walt stood under to, imagination and blah blah
yeah,
blah, dreaming tree. Super chat. Darnell Wright, thank you for sharing Sweet Baby Max with us. You have a wonderful family. I know we got Sonic, Baby Max, and then you never know, one more on the way. Jessica says two more. But thank you so much, Darnell. Also, too, I'm just going to try to catch up here. We got It's Adrian with the super chat. Disney versus Universal at it again. What do you guys prefer and why? Super Nintendo World or Mickey's Toontown? Like, to me, I feel like they're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. Um, and to me personally, I have like as an older person, I have a lot more fun at Super Nintendo World if it's not extremely crowded. But for kids, I'm gonna have to say Toontown's the winner, just because there's so much to do.
right.
Um, yeah, it's just hard to beat. You got three attractions, all the characters that come out there. But Super Nintendo World's not done, so you never know. You never know. We'll see where it goes, Adrian. But they're both incredible lands. Like, to me, I still believe Super Nintendo World is the greatest land ever. Greatest land ever. Theme park and Johnny. Oh my land is dropping the fire, Johnny. Oh, Mondo and Denny, I work at a pizza place and I made the flop over pizza, but I had to try Toontowns. But I'm betting mine is better. What were your thoughts, real quick? I know not everybody saw my video. What were your thoughts on the pizza flop over and just the drinks
Yeah.
and the offerings available at Daisy's Cafe?
The pizza flop over was really good, really really good. I enjoyed it. I would say definitely, if you can eat pork and you're okay with pepperoni, the pepperoni one's definitely better. But like the outside of the pizza is like garlic crust, right? So like that's kind of what made it really nice. But I'd say the only thing about it is you got to make sure you eat the flop over pizza like pretty fresh. Like this is not something to sit around because it can turn into a not so good thing really quickly. Kind of like In-N-Out fries, where you got like this little window of time to eat them. Otherwise, they turn into not so good things.
Mm. For me, the pizza flop over was like a 2.5 out of 5 fires. Um, if I was just going to Toontown and that was like the lunch I had, it'd be fine. I have no complaints. The watermelon lemonade was fire. I give that 5 fire. I get that again. I haven't tried the coffee yet, but like Danny was saying, eat that flop over quickly because you do not want that like 10
Mm-mm.
15 minutes later. We got 4 months of membership from the Scoop on Main Street. Thank you so much for your membership. 4 months. Was awesome hanging out with you again at Soft Open of Toontown. I'm the redhead dude. Glad I could get you a dude. Nice to meet you, and thank you so much, Scoop on Main Street. Yeah, I don't even know if power limes have come back or not, but those things are gone. They were gone. I came back
They were
that
gone so fast. They were
dude.
delicious, by the way. I couldn't get over how good
My
those were.
only my only complaint was that I wish I had a water bottle because that lime it is lime, like that is literally lime. They are strong. But the Scoop on Main Street, thank you for that, man. It was nice to hang out with you too, dude. Appreciate you. Um, it's Adrian says I think Winnie the Pooh is a good example too. It's not attached. Uh, let's see. When's the next Disney shareholder meeting? Very soon. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm just catching up. Oh man, I'm behind. Do you think Pete will have his own area to take pics or just walk the loop? I actually saw Pete doing meet and greets at that on the right side of Minnie Mouse's house. They have two doors there. There is uh, just like in the corner, he was doing a meet and greet where people could actually wait in line to do a photo with him. But I did see for the majority of the Pete, like when he would come out, he would just do a circle around that Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse house. I don't even know if that area has a line or not. But man,
Yeah.
did you meet Pete or no?
I did. I did. I didn't meet him, but he kind of waved at me and walked by. He was doing his rounds. Um, and it was kind of like I mentioned, it was kind of like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, where, the characters weren't really stopping. They were walking around. It was kind of like how Rey and Boba Fett and Mandalorian, they walk around, and the guests are like, oh, Mando's here. Just he's walking around right now, and but feel free to get pictures with him, but he's not gonna be able to stop. We're not forming a line, like they always say that. They were saying the same thing for all the characters in Toontown, for Goofy, for Daisy, for Pete specifically, because everyone kind of wanted to see him. So it was a little crazy because everyone was trying to get hold of Pete, but I feel like it'll be less eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the hype will die down for Pete. I'm shocked Pete had that much hype in general. I'm not trying to be mean, but when's the last time Pete was relevant?
Yeah, and
Just saying.
I sent you, if you could pull up some of the links, Mondo. The first link I sent you was the initial announcement of Disneyland um, posting for Mickey's Toontown. And then the next one was like more details. And then the third one was from D23 Expo, like a recap from D23 Expo, where we found out everything. But I'll let you pull that up.
Yep, I'm getting it up right now. Which one do you want to bring up first, Danny? The Wondrous Journey one?
No, the first one I sent you.
Oh, the transformation one?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's bring it up. Right here.
Yeah, so specifically, here's the announcement when they first announced Toontown. This is the artwork that's literally behind Mondo when he's on the main screen. But it says, it says right here, our guests are going to be coming into Mickey's Toontown. Will be one of the new areas coming to Mickey's Town will be the Centennial Park. The first space guests will see when they enter this natural space will be anchored by two interactive play experiences. At the center of Centennial Park will be a fountain designed for play, which will also become a center icon for Mickey's Toontown. And have a sensory experience. At night, the fountain will be brought to life in a unique spectacle. That never happened either. Not
Yep,
sure.
and dude, that was one of
Uh,
the things we talked about, Danny, where we were
yeah.
ready for this to see at night.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get nothing.
Yeah, and a lot of people who are content creators hung around on Saturday night and Sunday night, try to wait for something to happen. Nothing ever happened. In fact, the fountain was closed most of the days, both of those days. And then it says here, a nearby dreaming tree, the dreaming tree, will be inspired by a tree young Walt Disney would daydream under in his hometown. Sculpted tree roots will provide an opportunity for children to play, crawl, and explore, and undulating topography will offer rolling hills and a place to sit and dream. I don't necessarily know that that
I did see a lot
really.
of people sitting and some even taking naps under the tree. That's what I told Danny. I was like, I know the tree looks like this, but it's doing its job. People were taking naps, dude. I
Yeah.
saw.
The other thing I wanted to point out was the the one with Wondrous Journeys on it.
Yeah,
That's
real
what
quick, Connor. Thank you for keeping the magic alive. Fire. Thank you, Connor. I appreciate you, man. Uh, Let me see. I'm just catching up. All right, we're good. Pete needs his peg leg. He did not have that. He had 2 feet.
Peg Leg Pete.
Peg leg Pete. This one.
So if you
But thank you
scroll
so much,
down,
Connor.
all the way past the Runaway Railway sign, you'll
Oh,
see
King Thou. Every time I see that, I'm just like,
King Thanos.
damn. Disney went hard on this announcement, dude. Right here.
Yeah, so you can see here, like the artwork that they showed us for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway queue, like that's exactly what we got. Like like literally exactly what we got. Like
To the T, literally. It
they
looks just like that.
so much like that. In fact, even better in person.
Yeah.
But then you can see here at Goofy's right here. I want you to stop right here. This is Goofy's backyard. Goofy's how to play backyard. You could see how much of it was actually missing because of weather delays. They had none of the tarps or the roofing on any of Max's treehouse. In fact, you didn't really even know what those structures were in the backyard um, at all. For there was, at D23 Expo, you can see those clothesline at the front of it. One of those clothes that's hanging from it is like Max's Powerline costume. So like that was
Oh,
something that the Imagineers actually like pointed out to us when we were at D23 Expo. So all those tarps and colorful things for Max's treehouse, connecting it to Goofy's house, are still coming. They haven't been installed yet, and it's probably my guess because of the weather delays. They just weren't able to do it. Other things I can see here that I didn't see, Mondo. Like if you look at the right hand side, the child in the wheelchair. There's some sort of like spinning watermelon. Like there was
I
no
don't
like,
recall that at all.
yeah, there was a watermelon, but it wasn't something that you could interact with. It was just like a little watermelon.
Hmm.
And then but like, oh yeah, there was no roofing on any of the structures in the for Max's treehouse. It had zero roofing. It was just like the structures with like the wood poles and like nothing there. So I know that there's definitely probably going to be stuff, more things coming. In fact, I saw someone in this chat actually as we were talking about all this that said like my husband is currently like drilling or something on Donald's boat as we
I think
speak, so
that
they're
that
definitely delayed.
he's welding.
Oh, welding, yeah. So there was definitely delays. Like they already delayed the opening once, and I'm sure they didn't want to delay it again. But we've had relentless weather, so I'm sure we're gonna continue to see Toontown transform. So it's definitely gonna be something that I continue to visit regularly every week to check on like what's changed because
It's not
it's
done. That's the real
it's
answer.
not
It's not
done.
done.
Yeah. So
Um,
Goofy's house artwork below this looks
re-
exactly like that. They did such a
real
good job.
quick, Danny. Real quick. I saw Disney posted. I think what they called a full walkthrough or full tour on their Disney Parks YouTube, and they talked about this right here. Right above, you see the little bees and the honey right there, or the
Yeah.
honeycomb. So what the concept is that Goofy created this contraption to get the honey, and then all that stuff. I don't know if this article says it or not. I don't remember anymore. But all that honey, he's taking it to make candy, and that's why there's all these balls and contraptions going throughout his house. And what he's doing, he's making candy for Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Pluto. So at the very bottom of that center thing that you see right here, this is actually where all the candy gets collected. And if you look at the bottom, they have names,
Yeah.
so he's collecting the candy for everybody. But it all comes from the bees. I didn't know that until this morning. I was like, why? Why are we finding that out now? What? That's so cool.
Yeah. It was I picked up on that for sure. Because like if you looked at and followed the tubes and stuff, it was kind of clear what was going on. And then when I was watching that candy machine waiting for it to drop all its load, like with all the candy falling all at once, I saw at the bottom there was like little themed buckets like Daisy, Donald, Mickey, Minnie. Like it had like the little buckets there, and then the kids
What
had
is
the
this?
paddles that they could like change the direction of where the candy fell, so they could give more to Mickey or give more to Daisy or give more to Goofy, like whatever they wanted. Um, and it was really cool to see. Although when we were there on Sunday, the tubes were clogged, so
I know this thing
the
already broke. It
they had
already
a candy
broke.
backup. They had a candy backup.
Too much honey. But Goofy's house, in comparison to concept art, it
Looks
looks
exactly
exactly
the
the
same.
same. That that
Hmm.
that look at that, literally the same. Even better in real life, to be honest. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's good. It's just really good. Um,
Donald's boat wasn't ready to go. There's a lot of work still happening over there. and the play area wasn't open yet. We don't really have an idea of when it will open. Some of the cast members that were there were saying like May that it would open. The water play area, the other play areas, like you can see in this artwork on the left hand side, those were open and kids were loving that. There's like these spinny things and like seesaw things, and the kids were just all over that big time.
Yeah,
But the
we're
water play
we're
area wasn't open.
I was gonna say, Danny, we're hearing that this water area might not be open anytime soon. It could be something summer related. Um, I guess that would make sense. It's not like it harmed the opening of Toontown, but come summer, this is a huge benefit because it's gonna take a lot of. It might get too crowded in there, to be honest. All the kids are gonna want to go in there. Yeah, I felt like the kids were super excited for that. Um, Let me see. I'm just reading through the comments right now. Uh, just reading. None of Daisy's diner food looks good. I'd expect it to be more diner food, but needs more healthy kid options in that area. I thought it would have a burger. For some reason, I really thought it was going to have a burger. Let me see. It's Adrian says, I found power lines at Epcot. I was shocked they did that. I was shocked that anything Toontown went to Epcot. It was kind of a weird move, to be honest.
I'm not shocked because we've got like we have Epcot Flower and Garden Festival merchandise at Disneyland, so
Yeah,
I'm not
maybe they're like logistics just comes together a lot, so they're like, hey, give them some candy over there. But I know that Walt Disney World's always like, oh, they're getting a new Toontown Avatar experience,
I know.
Mandalorian. They got Princess
And
Leia. You know, I could feel it over there in Walt Disney World.
yeah, and I would say overall, like to close out Toontown, right? Like everything was amazing, and that's what I told the Imagineer I was speaking to too. Like I don't want the overall message for you walking away to feel like it's negative, right? I liked all the food I tried personally, except for the vegan wrap, which was not very good.
Oh, you
Um,
tried? I don't know anybody that tried that. It just didn't
oh,
hit.
oh no, it was terrible. It was really
Damn,
bad.
one
Yeah,
fight.
and Mondo knows I eat all the vegan stuff at Disneyland, so it
And
wasn't.
the plant based stuff was our favorite from Food and Wine. So
Yeah,
it's not like
yeah,
we're hating on that.
it was not good. It was not good at all. Zero Mondo, you wouldn't even have been able to you would have spit it
Not
out.
even on the fire scale.
No, zero fire. It was
Well,
so
there you
bad.
go. Hey, I trust Danny's opinion, so do not kill
Yeah,
me.
so bad. But all the other food was really good. That watermelon lemonade, like that's gonna be my go-to drink from now on. Besides the Tatooine Sunset, like it was
I
so
will
good.
say too, it was a consensus. People really loved the more expensive hot dog. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head right now. People love that hot dog, but I
Oh
said,
yeah,
but it's $15. I don't know.
Mondo. Another thing too. I didn't know that the lemonade was made with like Minute Maid zero lemonade, zero sugar.
No way.
Yeah, I
What?
mean the watermelon flavoring I'm sure has sugar, and so does the candies that they throw on it. But the base lemonade is a zero sugar lemonade,
You know
so
what's
it's a little weird.
funny? The same thing happened with the Arnold Palmer that I drink at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Three Broomsticks. It's also that zero sugar lemonade.
Yeah.
Whatever they're putting in that, it's really good. All these zero sugar
So
lemonades, like
yeah.
why are they
So
so good?
overall, the land, they did a great job with placemaking it and redoing it. Right, Toontown was in pretty poor shape before it closed, and they've brought everything back to stunning life. Mickey's house, Minnie's house, nothing's changed, but everything works. All the effects work. It looks clean. It looks like we did when we were kids and we first saw it for the first time. Everything was vibrant. The roller coaster, like we said, was really smooth. All the track was redone. If you like Gadget, she's still there. She's still part of it, but it's more Toontown, or it's more Chippendale focused now, and they are featured in the attraction with two not animatronics but statues that do talk as you kind of pass by them or the roller coaster passes by.
And he
But
like
they went,
puts water through the straw still, kind of thing.
yeah, and so there's like they just all the green spaces they added look really good. The quiet park in the back. My favorite green space is the one right in front of Mickey's house. I think that one's the coolest one. And then the green space over by Roger Rabbit, that is kind of mainly a stroller parking area, but um, you got three other rather green spaces if you're counting the one next to the fountain too. So there's a lot of space. Kids loved everything that had to do with Goofy's house, and I'm sure they're gonna love Donald's boat too as soon as that's done fully. So I think it's a huge win for people. I mean, there kind of wasn't a lot to do all that before in Toontown, and now there's like tons to do. You've three pretty major attractions, I would say. I feel like Chippendale's Gadget Coaster is a big milestone for a lot of kids. A lot of kids really love going on
It's
that.
their
It's like
first
their
roller
first,
coaster.
yeah.
It's super important to kids and families that go to Disneyland. Like that's their
Hmm.
first like big kid ride. You could almost say.
Yeah, I remember like taking my like nephews and stuff on it, like little cousins on it. They like loved it. So it's um I feel like overall they did an excellent job, and that's what I shared too with the Imagineers and with my thoughts on the podcast. Everything was really great. I loved the hidden details, and if you're looking for the details, you could find them. Like I said, the only negative, if I had to pick it, was just the tree and then the fountain situation, because there was supposed to be this like magical moment, and it just didn't pan out. And
I
but the fountain itself looked really great. Unfortunately, the fountain was closed both days, so hopefully they figure out whatever's going on there so they can actually keep it open, and let people get up in it like they want to.
So Disneyland's all about using space to the best of their abilities and packing in as much punch as possible with the limited space Disneyland has. Why did they bring so much green space to Toontown? It's kind of weird. We lost two water fountains when you think about it, Danny. We lost Roger Rabbit and the Mickey Mouse water fountain. Kind of weird that there was two water fountains in general, but uh, they replaced it with the one now in front of Mickey and Minnie's. All that was replaced with green space, and then they demolished Chippendale's treehouse for more green space. Um, the only thing I could think of, Disneyland's ready to bump up the crowds. That's what I think. That's literally what I think. I think in the future, which is like summer, Halloween, I think they're ready to finally be like, we're cranking up to 90%, 100% capacity. We need to make this money. We got a failing Marvel to make up for. Kaylee with the super chat. Does Mickey have multiple outfits at his house? You went in there, didn't you, Danny?
Yes, I went into Mickey's house. He was greeting us as Sorcerer Mickey, which is a cool meet and greet you don't get very often. So, Sorcerer Mickey. There was a new costume that Mickey had outside of his house, and that was, according to Mondo, only in the morning and then only after fireworks in the evening.
Yup.
Uh,
And many people wrote to me, this is a 8 a.m. kind of thing, and after fireworks. I don't know why that's even a thing, but I guess at that time it's the only time Mickey doesn't do meet and greet inside. So I guess that kind of goes with the we could only have one Mickey, you know.
yeah,
He did meet in Sorcerer Mickey, his traditional Mickey Mouse. I did not hear anybody meet him in the like the drummer outfit. I did not hear anybody say that. But he does have different outfits. We got Space Mountaineer with the super chat. Rainy days no longer turn off for crowds at Disney. Indie TLC update and Toontown letdown. RR Cartoon Spin. Need Pyro for first time. Wondrous Journey. Damn, there's a lot going on in that comment. But hey, I hope you got to do Indie. There is for sure no Wondrous Journey tonight. It's so windy and rainy. I just find it hard to believe they'll do it. I think even yesterday it got canceled. But dude, I hope you get to see the fireworks soon, Space Mountaineer. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. The Goofy Max pictures melt my heart. They did too. I took pictures of all of them. I thought that was so cool. I don't remember seeing stuff like that pre-pandemic.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, it didn't exist.
theme park and Johnny. Damn, Johnny, I gotta hit the freaking first one. Hey, Monda, Danny, explain the internet situation in Toontown. Heard it wasn't good. Uh, I had fine internet, but that's AT&T. If you got Verizon or anything else, you got nothing. I think
I
that's the
had
clear answer.
I had good internet. I have T-Mobile, and I had good internet, with the exception of that quiet park in the back. When you got closer to gadgets, or not gadgets, I'm gonna say gadgets forever. Chippendale's Critter Coaster, whatever it's called, the Gadget Coaster, and then that quiet park in the back. I like was in the one bar like SOS mode.
It's
So
just your phone ain't working.
yeah, and also Mickey's house. And they're all in the same area right there. Like Mickey's house, then the quiet park, then the coaster. They're all kind of right next to each other. Those spaces, I had no bars, but everywhere else, I was totally fine. And
Yeah.
I know from past experiences that also happens to almost everyone in the Roger Rabbit queue.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit internet don't exist in there. It's just, yeah, but being outside Toontown, me having AT&T, no issues. I didn't have any issues.
Hmm.
But man, do not take a Verizon phone in a Toontown. You have no chance. Kaylee with the super chat. Will Mickey's house get a lightning lane? I was just talking about that with somebody. Um, do you think Disney goes the route like Walt Disney World, where even Mickey or I'll just go with Mickey. Even Mickey gets a Disney Genie Plus Lightning Lane. Uh, Disney, they made meeting Mickey into a cupcake adventure that you had to pay like $65. So yes, I would not doubt Disneyland is like, hey, people want to meet Mickey. We can make money off it. We got to pay off this expensive ass Toontown. I can see it happen. Can you see it happen, Danny?
Yeah. I mean, Disney World has lightning lanes for all their character meet and greets. I'm surprised
And it's
we
common
don't
over
have.
there.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't really have that. I mean, people would love that aspect to it. So, um, I don't know. I would love. I actually think it would be a great idea. It brings a lot more value to Lightning Lane if they add some character interactions to that. They could throw a little Baymax in there. When he gets his meet and greet.
Yeah.
Uh, who knows?
It's a perfect way to sell Genie Plus if they added characters. Like the one that would sell a lot of Genie Plus, I'm just saying, if they all of a sudden they put Spider Man in his own like meet and greet indoors, just take web suppliers out. Get web suppliers the hell out of Avenger Campus. Get it out of there and make it a cool meet and greet for kind of like the Royal Hall, but just the Royal Avengers. It'd be sick. It'd be sick. They do that in Paris. Super chat. Space Mountaineer. I'll get you a Toad Cafe reservation. I got you. Let me know when you're in the park. I know you want to eat there. I got connect, dude. Thank you. Edie, we haven't even got to Super Nintendo World. We will soon, but it's impossible, dude. It's freaking. Thank you for the offer. I appreciate you, man. By the way, we got freaking 600 people in here. Can you guys smash that like button?
Yes,
Thank you
hit the
so
like button.
much. Smash that like button. T-Mobile will drop pretty much right when you walk into the building. Yup, there's just no chance. Diamond Boy Disney, there's 4 outfits. Wow. Steamboat Willie. I saw nobody with that outfit, but that is true. Steamboat, Through the Mirror, Band Leader, and Sorcerer. Those are the ones that you could do. Brenda says, I got an alert from the app today. Said I could upgrade today's ticket to a Magic Key, even though I'm already a Magic Key holder. Just wondering if that means sales are open again. So I actually have that up. Sales for Magic Keys are open. You could actually buy yourself a Magic Key, except you got to spend $1,600. That's the only one available.
Yeah, it never stopped becoming available. As soon as all the passes went on sale, the Inspire keys never stopped selling.
Why the Inspire key? I think Disney's at the point where they're okay with having a lot of Magic Key holders if you're paying the 1600. I think them at the lesser values, Believes and Enchant, they're just like, we don't want that price line anymore. I think eventually Disney kind of just wants to make everybody Inspire Key. That's my
I
opinion.
agree. I agree. And we've talked about this too, Mondo, in the past. We said that we felt like if Disney's really trying to control crowding with passes, this might be the way that they do it by just making the expensive pass the only one available, or keeping all the passes that they have, but just eliminating that monthly payment option, so that it really limits the amount of people that have access to buying it, unless they're trying to make that intentional purchase of buying it, which then brings the number of people down, because they were, is that the right route, or is like the pumping of the sales off and on the right route? You know what I mean?
Yeah. At first, I looked at it as like Disney was waiting for people. Do they renew or do they not? I think at this point they're just like, "Hey, you want to spend $1,600? Come on down. Come, come enjoy your Disneyland. We don't mind your $1,600." Real quick, I didn't think of this, Benjamin. If they're gonna do a lightning lane for characters, they need to build double mirror rooms so then they can have two versions of the meeting at the same time. One for lightning lane, one stand by no means has to know. So Mickey actually has different rooms. I could totally see them be like the lightning lane Mickey and then the standby Mickey. I could
Yeah,
totally see that happen. I didn't think of that, but I could totally see that happen. And just having Mickey alone on the Disney Genie Plus, it's gonna sell more Genie Pluses. Because that'd be crazy if they do something like that. Um, but I think when it comes down to Magic Keys, Disneyland has made it very clear they're ready to sell more. All the people that were itching to know when is the Magic Keys going to be available. I feel like for the most part, I've heard a lot of people go, but I don't want to buy the $1,600 one. And I think that's what Disney found out is that they've hit that happy medium of like, hey, if you want it, it's here.
yeah,
If
it's
not,
available to you.
they're crowd controlling with higher rate. That's
I mean,
literally what's happening.
it's kind of like Walt Disney World, right? Like they, as you and I, Mondo, we don't have the option to buy any other pass other than their most expensive pass.
That's the
Like
only one I could buy in Florida.
that's the only one that you can buy as a like non-resident, right? So that's maybe they're gonna go that same route with Disneyland.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, we're getting more blockout dates next year, like the Easter time, if I can remember, something like that. Yeah, it wasn't just those 2 weeks of Christmas. Um, but my closing thoughts on Toontown, they did a great job. It hit such big crowds, and for the most part, everybody got Toontown like what they wanted out of it. They had fun, even though it was an S show. But for the most part, everything worked. Things are still not completed, so we'll keep with the updates going here on the channel as time goes on. I don't know how much I'll be in a Toontown, but there is something I do want to talk about before we move on from Toontown. Is that a Chubby plush arrived for all my Chubby fans out there? Let me bring it up real quick, Danny. Give me a second. Somebody tagged me on Instagram, and thank you for all the people that tag me on Instagram. I appreciate you guys always keeping.
Did it come today, Mondo?
Yeah, it didn't come yesterday. It came today. This is a Chubby plush that goes on the shoulder. It's like a shoulder magnet. Available at Engineer Souvenirs. So for all the people trying to buy one, get it quick. These sold out on opening day, and I already know people are going to buy these like crazy. They're going to sell out again. They're going to sell out again. Vet GA says 1,600 for multiple family members is definitely a price point that will stop people.
Yep.
You can't just say like, "Oh, it was an impulse buy after perfect Disney day like before." That is so true. Where like, you went on like a 2-day ticket or something, like a trip, and you're like, you know what, Danny? Let's just buy a magic key. How much are they? 1,600. We'll just come back once in Christmas time, Danny. That's so true. Because hey, you go to Knott's or you go to Universal and you have a good time, it's very accessible to buy a pass, especially at Knott's at that price point, and even the platinum price point or the gold or silver at Universal is a
Yeah.
great option. What's up, Chino? But yeah,
Mondo,
there is no impulse buying of a magic key. That is for sure.
they said that you got a Venmo super chat.
Oh, Venmo super chat from Jessica. Fires. Oh my Lanta. Jessica dropping $10 on the Venmo at the Cali Bay. Thank you so much. Anytime anybody Venmos me super chat, I appreciate your kindness. It always goes fully to me without any YouTube or anything like that. But Jessica says, thank you for a great live fire. Bush. Thank you so much. You're so amazing, Jessica. I appreciate your kindness. 5 fires. Real quick, let me catch up. And then Kaylee as well with the super chat on the Venmo. Oh, damn, I'm sending $5. Kaylee says, do you think Pete will have a set meet and greet time? Do you think more characters will come out at Toontown, such as Chip and Dale? Fire it up. From what I'm hearing with Pete, it's like a 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock or something. That's what I've heard. But I don't know exact times. But he came out at 4, so I know he goes that late. I don't know if he goes. When I came after fireworks, there was no Pete. So I just want to throw that out there. No Pete. Don't even think about it. I don't. From what I'm hearing about the Chippendale, it's not looking good. It's not looking good with the Chippendale meet and greet in Toontown. I feel like Max is coming. It's really hard to see all that emphasis on Max in Goofy's house and no Max. But the day Max comes, I will get a reservation as fast as possible, and I want to meet Max. And Max, throw it out there, San Francisco just rocked him. He can't do no meet and greets over there no more. So he's coming to Toontown. I'm just going to throw it right here. Yeah, we're getting Baymax over there. So there's just no way. Max is doing meet and greets at DCA anymore. That was something somebody pointed out to me recently, and I was like, that's a very good point. Any closing thoughts on Toontown? I have one more thing I want to talk about Disneyland, Danny. It's really juicy, but just closing thoughts on Toontown.
No more thoughts that I haven't shared anyway. It's great. I can't wait for everyone to see it, and I can't wait to see how it continues to evolve because there's a lot more stuff coming from at Goofy's house we haven't seen yet.
Yep. The big one I heard, it's just a rumor. It's just a total rumor and speculation that there was supposed to be some type of character cavalcade or character entertainment, and it could have possibly been done in front of Mickey and Minnie's house in that grass area. Kind of similar to that media picture that got shared by everybody. Which is this one. Let me bring it up real quick, Danny. Right here. There was supposed to be something. I don't know what, but I heard there's rumor that it should have happened or it could happen, but it would happen right there with all these characters, I'm guessing, which would be an epic moment. I could imagine that'll be like a one-time of day thing. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see as time goes on. I do hope more characters come, though, everybody. I'm on the same boat that I would like characters to come. But my closing thoughts, Toontown is incredible. Can't wait to take my baby there. And it's going to be cool. All right. Last thing on the Disneyland conversation. And Danny's not even ready for this one. Let's talk some Halloween. Let's talk some Halloween, dude. All right, so it's going to take a lot for me to go to Oogie Boogie Bash this year because y'all know I'm after dark out. I'm just, Princess Night broke me, man. We got Ernesto de la Cruz last year, and for me personally, he carried the whole show. the whole event. He carried it for me. And the reason I say that, I'm a returning guest. You know, I've been there, done that. I'm not so wowed anymore by Oogie Boogie. It's still an amazing event. If you've never gone, I super recommend it. Super recommend it. I asked my community on the Instagram. I said, uh, "What is this year's big surprise for Oogie Boogie?" And I'm just assuming Oogie Boogie's coming back. You know, I don't know if it is or not. But what do you think, Danny, could be a big surprise this year? And then I'm going to read some of the comment ones because there's a lot of juicy ones that people have commented. But let's talk a little bit of Halloween real quick, Danny.
My big surprise would be they move the party back to Disneyland.
Ooh! let me.
And I'm gonna just throw it out there, like we have zero intel that this is actually happening. It's just what I would want to happen.
Yeah, that Danny's like, forget the character, just bring that to Disneyland.
Yeah, dude.
I've
I
had
just
enough of
want to
Oogie
see.
Boogie. I'm just being straight up
I
honest.
want
I
to see.
had enough of Oogie
You know
Boogie.
what I want to see, Mondo. I want to see Mickey and Minnie behind a rope at their houses, and kids can go trick or treating at their houses in
Dude,
Toontown.
imagine Toontown becomes a trick or treat meet and greets, and oh my gosh. You know, that would sell tickets even faster if we got Mickey's is it Mickey's Happy Halloween Party or Mickey's Halloween Party at
There's
Disneyland?
Mickey's Halloween party. Yep.
Wow. I think everybody in the chat could just take my money, Disneyland. Take the kids to trick or treat in Toontown.
Dude,
Oh,
kids going to all the different character houses, getting candy. Game over.
game over. Game over. Those tickets gone. People going multiple days without even thinking about it. Sheesh. You would still get the parade. You would get the fireworks over there. You
Yeah,
get the big pumpkin.
and what chemo dog YT in the chat, and a Halloween layover for Runaway Railway.
Wow. I can tell you right now, Florida would be pissed if we got Halloween overlay.
Yeah.
Because they've been having Mickey and Minnie's and there's no Halloween layover. You know which one could get like a Halloween layover? It'd just be super simple. Chippendale's coaster. Just throw Halloween stuff all over it. There's no difference to it, but it'd just be nice. Like it'd be a visually cool thing. Yeah, everybody's saying take my money, dude. Yeah, take my money, dude. Game over. Game over. Oogie Boogie, what? I don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's it for that conversation. I don't. We don't need to talk more. Forget the character. We'll talk about the characters next week. All right. That's it for Disneyland. I want to move over to Universal Studios Hollywood. So Universal Studios Hollywood has been on a roll when it comes down to crowds. Super Nintendo World, we all knew was going to bring crowds, but it's got to the point where they're just selling out like crazy. Last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sold out general admission. I don't even know how they combat this. It's obviously a good thing because they're making money hand over fist. But at the same time, there has to be a conversation of guest experience. And if everything is hour to 2 hours, that does not sound like fun, Danny. What are your thoughts, dude? What are your thoughts on just the capacity? It's just the demand. Universal's on fire, straight up.
Well, I'm glad at least that they're selling out, right? So that means that like they're not letting more people in. They're not just letting unlimited amounts of people in. Because Universal Studios Hollywood isn't all that big of a park in general. So I'm glad that at least they're getting to a point where they're like, we're done for the day. Like we're sold out. So, but I think it's a good thing overall because it's really giving Comcast, NBC Universal, whatever the parent company is, I forget, the confidence in investing in Universal Studios Hollywood, seeing how such a little investment of what they did for Super Nintendo World in just that small little area of the lower lot, how much hype and honestly revenue for them brought from just that, right? And they get insane revenue too for Halloween Horror Nights. I think Mondo said like the 2022 Halloween Horror Nights was like one of their most profitable or most attended ever. So
Sold
like,
out, sold out, sold. That's all I kept
yeah,
hearing.
so like there's just like there's so much potential for them to make money. Um and really that part of Southern California is sort of untapped, right? They're pretty untapped as far as like theme parks. If unless guests want to drive all the way down to Disneyland, like for people that live around Universal Studios, that could be a 2-hour drive. So it's not exactly an easy thing for them. So this really services a whole market that has a lot of money to spend in LA, but necessarily don't have that many choices. So they've got the market over here.
Mm. Real quick, this right here is the Super Nintendo World early entry that sold from $20 to $30. It's sold out for the rest of the month. This allows you to go into Super Nintendo World an hour prior to opening of the park, and it also gives you a front of the line to the studio tour that has to be used before 11 a.m. And when they first pitched that idea, I was kind of like, their whole concept was that they want you to go to the lower lot and get out of the lower lot. Go to the studio tour, just go on the 1 hour ride and get out of here. But after talking to people that have done the early entry, I've heard nothing but positive things about it. So, anybody that is thinking of doing this early entry on your next Universal Studios Hollywood trip, super recommend. I give it a 5 out of 5 fire recommendation. Um, People have told me they've got to ride Mario Kart multiple times. They got their reservation for the restaurant, and they play all the power band games that their heart can find. Like, you could do pretty much everything. And at the same time, you don't really need from like 7 a.m. to 11. You could get Mario Kart, or you could get Super Nintendo World done pretty quickly when it's very low capacity. Also, what I heard, and the big one is that was a big change. I mentioned it in my last video. With your Toadstool Cafe reservation, say it's like 3 hours from now, you could actually leave Super Nintendo World, and even though reservations are required, you could actually still go into the land with your reservation to Toadstool to eat the food. That doesn't mean that you're not going to wait a long time, because Toadstool, it's such high demand. It's like it might as well be an attraction in the land. So you can still wait 1 to 2 hours for your food from beginning to end. So just want to throw that information out there. Kaylee says with the super chat, do you think new character meal will come to Disneyland? No, I do not see any character dining coming to Disneyland. That's like new. Trust me, I wish. I'm a big lover of the concept of character dining, but I do not see that. But thank you, Kaylee. Jamie Lynn says, just announced the expansion already. Super Nintendo World is a smash, and the demand is too high for that space. Candace says, did the VIP tour last weekend at Universal. Oh, damn. Was an awesome experience. Thanks for the recommendation and the vlog that you did that convinced us to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, VIP at Universal is like a legitimate VIP experience. I'll just leave it at that. I was going to talk about Disneyland, but no. Ian Grimm, it was awesome to get in early entry on Saturday. 100% worth it. Got to eat at Toadstool before rope drop. Wow. And it was empty. Amazing and weird experience. Camille says, do you think early entry will still be required in May? We have Express, which is great for the rest of the park. It's even going to be more of a requirement if you're trying to have a good trip. May's brutal. I recommend it, Camille. That extra $20-$30. If you're going one time to Universal, super recommend. Like I can't. Even if it's not a busy time, I would still do it. I would still pay the extra money. Um, what I wanted to get to, Danny, we have now got into the point where we're seeing what is happening with Super Nintendo World. And I got to experience it myself last week where I got to Universal at 11 and my return time wasn't until 4. But the thing about Universal and their virtual queue, you could always still check to see if time slots open. And I was able to get a time slot at 11:50, which was pretty much like 20 minutes from me entering the park. So I changed it. When I finally got into Super Nintendo World, complete 10 pack meter, 10 out of 10, and Toadstools was gone an hour and a half ago. Um, what do you think, Danny? That, to me, that's not a good experience. Because you're kind of telling the crowd, like, hey, if you're not here by 9:30, you're just out of luck, buddy. You're not going to have a decently crowded Super Nintendo World, and you're not going to eat the cool food here. Because I feel like a lot of people buying a ticket to or to Universal, that's like kind of one of their main objectives. I want to go into Super Nintendo World. I want to do the food. We've seen it all over social medias and stuff. What are your thoughts on that? Is early entry affecting everything too much? Is what I want to ask.
Um, I feel like there's a little bit of it that is right. You're letting in the regular guests, and the land already has like hour waits for stuff and everything. So it is to an extent. I don't know how long they're going to continue offering something like this. Um, but I mean, for the guests that want to pay for it, like you said, it's a great 5 out of 5 recommendation. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's good for the guests that do it, but the guests that don't want to pay, with a family of 5 at $30 a pop is a lot, especially when you're going to have to probably buy those family members power-up bands and food in the land, and you already bought your tickets. And in the case of the previous commenter, you've already bought Express. You spent a lot of money so far. Like, um, don't necessarily know you want to spend even more on the early entry, and then if you don't want it, is it unfair that you're like in such a disadvantage? You know what I mean? So it's a weird place to be, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because it's like they're creating this good experience, but then it's like kind of down the pipeline of time. As the park opens, it's just like the snowball effect, right?
Yeah.
Reservations, they're gone. 9:30 a.m. They're gone. It's just weird because right outside of Super Nintendo World, that little cafe and Panda Express still going strong. I'm shocked it's still there. And even the ice cream. I'm shocked that's not just the lower lot, just Super Nintendo World. Like, dude, the demand is there. The 90s kids, 80s kids, everybody wants more Super Nintendo World. Only time will tell if that expansion ever gets approved. I hope it
So
does. I hope it
uh,
does.
we're approaching 2.5 hours, Mondo. Is there
Oh
any?
my gosh. Okay. Real quick, Jennifer says, do they promote needing a virtual queue online? Saw people buying bands at 10 at City Walk, and queues were gone by 10:30. So those bands become pointless for one day guests. Oh my. That's rough. I didn't
No,
even think of it that way, but
yeah.
damn.
No, I was gonna say, was there other topics in Universal that we can? Did you want to talk about dark arts at all, or?
Damn, Jennifer, that's crazy. That's crazy to think, man. Like, you buy your kids the power bands, and then you're like, "What do you mean I can't get in? You can't get in. You need a virtual queue." Damn. Um, for Universal, they're bringing Dark Arts this weekend for a limited time. It's going to be very exciting. I'm going to be out there, possibly do a live stream, and if I can, I don't know if they'll do 2 showings of Dark Arts, but I would love to live stream as many as they can because it's a
Right.
freaking cool show. And I don't know any. I still don't know if there'll be more extras coming with this Dark Arts time period, but I hope so. I hope they could add something to Three Broomsticks, right? It'd just be cool. I just want more Dark Arts anything. even at the candy shop. I hope we get more dark arts merch. Give us something. We want it. We want it, Universal. But for right now, there's not too much that I really wanted to just emphasize that Super Nintendo World talk.
What
I'll be
about
at Universal soon, where I'm not gonna just focus on the restaurant because eating there's a toss up if I even do or not. But I want to focus on the theme park itself on my next visit. What were you gonna say, Danny?
I was gonna say, what about HHN? We heard anything on that front?
Still, I will say nothing on today. It's still too early. Um, I did see this though. Let me show this real quick. Uh, there's one that I know a lot of people were hoping comes to Halloween Horror Nights. And my buddy Junior asked John Murdy himself, and John Murdy replied to him, and we could definitely rule this one out of Halloween Horror Nights. Right here, it's Instagram is Universal. Let me bring it up. There we go. Universal Disney fan. And Junior asked John Murdy, any chance Freddy Krueger could come back to Halloween Horror Nights with his own maze, most specifically his own maze? It's been 13 years, and he said, I'd be down, but that hasn't been available. So Freddy Krueger, not coming this year. Don't even think about it. Unless somehow
Yeah,
some miraculous thing happens, which I don't think it will.
we
Freddy
got
Krueger not
um,
on the list.
we got a super chat here, Mondo. I don't know if you heard about this from Ian Grimm. They said rumblings and chatter that the clown on HHN Nightmares speculation map is for it. Also, Warner Brothers is no longer doing their Halloween event, so Pennywise at HHN.
Yes. I hope so. I would love it. I hope, I know a lot of people probably want the original it, but for me, I would like this newer version of it, the I guess the recent one. I think that Pennywise would translate really well into a Halloween Horror Night house. There's so many iconic scenes and just kills and stuff like that that could come to life. It'd be crazy. Uh,
Yeah,
but but at this point in time, I have no clue. I have no clue. But it would be sick. I think it. I don't want to put pressure on it, but if it came, it would probably carry the event because people love that franchise, and the merch that would come out of that sold out without even thinking about it.
oh yeah, immediately.
Big fan 29 cent. Do you think the demand for Super Nintendo World is going to skyrocket when the movie gets released? Hell
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Jeez. Even if the movie's, I have a feeling it's going to be really good, but even if the movie's bad, it doesn't matter. People are still going to be like, I guess you could say, exposed to Super Nintendo World, because recently, um, Nope did marketing for the Nope attraction that got added to the studio tour. So Universal has figured out that marketing scheme, or not scheme, but the marketing material or
Mhm.
process of having a movie also market at the theme park. So you best believe there's some marketing going down for Super Nintendo World at Hollywood come the release of Mario Bros. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Um, he says, "Not the clown I want, but okay." Yeah, closing thoughts on Universal, Danny.
Um, man, I honestly don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know what better way to curb demand for Super Nintendo World other than what they're already doing. I feel like there's no good way to do anything else, right? Especially for Toadstool Cafe. I think it's just gonna take time, for things to kind of level out. Um, but I think they're kind of doing the best that they can do, and I feel like if you're choosing to go during this period when it's this busy, you're either going to deal with the crowds that you experience and potentially not being able to do, like Mondo said, something till 4 when you get there like at 10, um, or you're going to have to pay the money to be there first thing in the morning to get it out of the way and done. It's just, I guess part of the lay of the land of going when it's that early on after it's debuted. So if you want to be in that crowd that waits for a little bit longer. But I feel like the hype's just not going to really die down too much. I feel like
Heck no,
Supernatural.
we're spring break in a summer with the movie release, in a Halloween Horror Nights, in a Christmas, dude. It might slow down in January. That's when
Yeah,
it'll slow down.
maybe. But I'm excited for Dark Arts. Hopefully, I get to do that with you this weekend too. So.
Yeah, we want some dark arts. That I feel like I haven't pulled out my Gryffindor robe. Definitely pulling that out soon, or on my next trip. I'm gonna bring my wand. I don't have my. Oh, I had my wand around here somewhere. I don't know where it went, but I'm excited. I want to cast some spells over there at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. All right, that's it for Universal. Let's get on to Knott's Berry Farm. The only thing I could say about Knott's Berry Farm, I still haven't gone back since the one time I went for
And
boysenberry.
you haven't seen the Knott's Preserved?
Yeah, I did go back though to catch a Knott's Preserved at night, and I put it on my YouTube channel recently. So if you haven't seen that and you want to watch this show in its entirety, I didn't want to put the daytime one because the night version is just that much better. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for me, I will be. I don't even know if I'll be able to go this week or not. It depends. But I'm gonna go to Boysenberry Festival to do foods. That's kind of like that's the whole point of Boysenberry Festival. I want to use my lanyard, and at the same time, I still have a lot to explore from the shows. I did see Jen in the community post. She commented that entertainment is coming back, and that's like the big thing I wanted to talk about today. So shout out to Jen for always like keeping us in the loop of entertainment. She commented that the Bluegrass Duo, which are usually over there by Fireman's Brigade Barbecue in Ghost Town, they're coming back 3/24. So that's right around the corner, March 24th. Boysenberry Blues and Native American Dancer are back on March 31st at Knott's Berry Farm. So we're getting entertainment back to kind of fill out that feel of the whole theme park being involved with the Boysenberry Festival. I'm glad that's happening because that was a big, like it hurt people to hear the concept of Knott's Berry Farm losing entertainment, especially during this festival, because it's like this Boysenberry Festival is like one of their grand things that they do all year. So that's really good to hear. Knott's did get rained out today, which is it's never a good thing. But that rain came down crazy, so like I don't blame Knott's for doing what they did.
Are you having like a bomb cyclone over there too, Mondo? Where you're at with all the wind?
Dude, it's been crazy. It's just been crazy. Knott's Fiesta Village is also coming to life. I can't wait. I've seen people post about it. I really want to check it out. I really want to check it out. Anything you want to talk about with Knott's, Danny?
Um, Nothing that I saw per se. I did see Jen posted that Amber Waves finally went down to finish
Yup.
part of the refurbishment. So that's a really big part of the Knott's Berry Farm Hotel's renovation. We've already seen the renovated rooms, and some of them have different styles compared to the others. Some are bigger, some have like a wet bar area, stuff like that. But a big portion of that renovation was the Amber Waves like convention space. So, restaurant slash convention space area in the bottom. So I hope that whatever this turns into is super, super cool. And I'm excited to see it. And that's going to make the hotel look a lot more modern, I feel, from
Modern.
the outside. At least from what we
Mhm.
saw in the artwork, like that area was like a lot more modernized because I feel like that part of the hotel makes it look really dated when you compare it to the rest of like the tower itself isn't like super new, but it's not like super dated either. But I'm excited to see kind of what we get with all that and how it ends up looking in real life because the rooms and the parts that they've done already in the main spaces look really good.
I would hope to stay there one day. Maybe it would be a scary farm.
Are you down to
Yeah.
try that pancake burger, Mondo?
So our Knott's Adventure tried it. She did not like it. I don't know how that's
Oh,
not. How did that not work? Pancakes in like a sausage biscuit kind of situation? What? Yes. But I wanted to bring this up because our Knott's Adventure, if you guys don't already follow her, she's freaking amazing. Let me show her account right there. Our Knott's Adventure, my favorite account to follow when it comes down to knots. This right here, uh, I've heard people just raving about this. This is breakfast tater tots, eggs, bacon, green onions, tater tots, and boysenberry hollandaise. I can never say that word. It's not on the meal plan or tasting card. It's $14, but everybody I've talked to, and it's like 4 people now, they've all loved that. That's on my list that I want to try for sure. And then the fact that it's breakfast, you usually do not get breakfast, period,
Mm-mm.
at freaking Knott's. So that's the
No.
one. That's the one. For that, the breakfast one, the breakfast sandwich, she said no egg and sausage had no flavor. Psh, doesn't make sense.
Why
Doesn't
are they
make
serving
sense.
it with French fries too? Like, should be
Yeah,
serving that with like, tater tots or something.
dude, this needs tater tots, right? And that
Yeah.
needs an egg for sure. It's a great idea. I don't know. Things got a little mixed up in there. Mondo, do you think Knott's will announce in an expansion? I don't. I think this year Knott's focus is Fiesta Village, and once that gets done, Knott's Scary Farm's 50th. Those are the two big ones. Um, I, I feel like the Knott's community wants that expansion bad, but I think Knott's needs to get their Scary Farm and Fiesta Village settled before even any thoughts like that could happen.
Mhm.
Because that's a lot of
Oh,
money. That's a lot of freaking
speak,
money.
speaking of Scary Farm, I don't know if you can pull it up right now on Instagram, Mondo. Go to the Knott's Berry Farm or Scary Farm Instagram. They're actually doing like a March Madness style with all the past mazes from the past 50 years, or at least the big hits anyway, from the past 50 years of Not Scary Farm. And I'm wondering what's going to happen. It's on their story, their Instagram story.
Real quick before I show the Instagram story, so they've been doing these houses and scare zones of the past. Like they're kind of bringing them, like the memories of them back.
Well,
This
it's all
one,
part of their thing. It's all part of their
yeah.
Instagram story.
So this one right here, I had no clue what the hell this is, but I was like, there was a facade like that at Not Scary Farm. What in the Baba Freak? So this is called 13 Acts Murder Manor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a maze that went from 2005 to 2008 in the
Yep.
Mystery Lodge. I don't know where the heck they. That's a crazy facade for Not Scary Farm. But I looked up a walkthrough of this, terrifying, and I feel like it was like 10 minutes long, dude. Knott's went hard. 2005 to 2008, they went hard in this maze. I won't give no spoilers. If you want to see it for yourself, go see it. But I almost want to say if they brought this back, it would be crazy in an updated fashion, obviously. But dude, that was a walkthrough. I was like, damn, like even I feel scared about it. Right here, Danny.
Yeah, so they're doing a nightmare knockout of all the. It's like kind of like a March Madness sort of thing. So I wonder what happens if we can get the 13 Axe Murder Manor um, to like the final position in the March Madness. Like, are they gonna bring one of these mazes back if it wins? Like, what's the outcome of this? You know what I mean?
Like, why even put this up if you're not gonna
I don't know.
connect it to the 50th?
I'm on the train of bring back Trick or Treat or Doll Factory because I love Trick or Treat and Doll Factory. So um, I'd be down to see any of them. I personally didn't experience the 13 Acts Murder Manor, but I watched it too, like you did. It looked really, really good. But I loved Doll Factory and Trick or Treat. I thought was such a great maze, and it beats any interactivity than that what they got going on for Bloodline. Like I think the flashlight thing was so much cooler than shooting people with Bloodline.
I heard
So
the Bloodline shooting concept's gone. Like
good.
they're
It
not coming
needs to
back.
be gone.
It,
It needs to be
it,
gone.
Put that budget into more scare actors. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
the maze itself was good. I think if more actors For me, I'm always in the more actors. Give us more. Give us more. But yeah, this is cool. Um, what this does for me for Not Scary Farm, it makes me want to look up these walkthroughs because I didn't get a chance to experience a lot of this stuff. But I could tell you right now, you know what would beat all of this? Special Ops Infected. That's my number one Not Scary Farm maze. Probably one of my favorite mazes of all time in general. Special Ops Infected went hard. I freaking love that maze. I'll be back at Knott's Boysenberry Festival very soon, like this week probably. And stay tuned for that vlog, everybody. Closing thoughts on everything, Danny.
Dang, yeah. Keep an eye on this March Madness thing for Scary Farm. Because I feel like this is a big deal, Mondo. Having Knott's talk about Scary Farm on their accounts this far out, it shows you that they're really trying to gear up towards the season that we've all been speculating and expecting for the 50th anniversary. So I'm gonna keep my eye on Jen's account to see, and all the other haunt accounts I follow, to see if we get any speculation on kind of what's going on in the old space from Pumpkin Eater, and what we might expect for 50. I'm hoping great things this year. I'm super bummed about the past not coming back though, and I think that's not a good move. I know for me personally, it means I'm only going once. I will not be going a second time because I don't want to be buying a ticket for every single time. So it's, I hope they change their mind on that. But yeah, Pumpkin Eater's gone. I want to know what's going there. Um, Dark Ride is gone. I want to know what's going in. That's a great space right there, for them to do something super
They could
cool.
do whatever they want there, dude. Yeah.
Mhm. So
No elements, nothing. It's like a soundstage essentially.
yeah, and personally for me, I'll be headed back to Disneyland this weekend, and hopefully Universal too, so I can join Mondo to watch Dark Arts. But I want to go to Disneyland to see if there's any changes because we got people in the chat here saying their family members are still working on Toontown in the middle of the night. There's still a lot that's coming, so I'd like to see, as that comes out, and kind of share it with everyone. And also, I got to keep an eye out on when those power lines come back because I need more of those.
I know. I wish I had one for like. You just want that random snack from Disneyland. A power lime is a great. It's and
I
especially for like $3 or $4, whatever it got sold. I was shocked. Thank you, Danny. Real quick before we get out of here, where can they find your podcast and just your socials? Just if we got new peoples in here.
Yeah, so I've got a new episode that dropped today, actually, of the 5571 podcast, which is the name of my podcast. You can subscribe on all the platforms. I am a Spotify podcast, but you can find it on all the platforms, including Apple Podcasts as well too. And I did my episode today on my thoughts on Toontown. Went into a lot of detail on my 2 days there and kind of my thoughts on everything. So went to a little bit of a longer episode. So if you want to if you want to hear me ramble on that, you can. That's live, and I'm still working on my YouTube video from my Toontown days over the weekend. Once with Mondo, and then kind of some extra videos peppered in from the second day of stuff I couldn't get when Mondo and I were there on the first day. But I'll hopefully get that out later this week on my YouTube channel, Just Ask Danny too. So
Heck yeah! And my closing thoughts. I love where theme parks are at right now. It's so unbelievable how hard they're going, and we're not even at the end of March. It's crazy. Disney 100, Toontown, Magic Happens, Knott's Boysenberry Festival. They did Peanut Celebration. We're getting freaking Super Nintendo World, Dark Arts, whatever the hell they're doing at the Plaza area. It's just crazy. We are in the golden age of theme parks. Golden age of theme parks, man. Thank you guys so much. All my members, if you haven't got enough of me, I'm going to do another live for like 20 to 30 minutes. And then we're going to fire up another live for Mandalorian. I really hope it's a good episode. It sucks staying up late and just being disappointed. But it is what it is. Thank you,
And
Danny. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to smash that like button on the way out, and thank you for supporting the fire. We are firing it down, the Cali Bay. Just as Danny are calling it a day. I'm the main host, Monto.